Cool. All right. So, welcome to session 41. It's been over a month since we played. A lot of holidays, got busy. Work's been a little crazy. My company sold us, so Panch and I are trying to figure out what to do with that. But yeah, anyhow, good times. So, Barovia, let me start. I already shared this with everybody, but I'll throw the link out. At 20, I guess. Maybe I can put it here. I'll put it on Discord as well. All right. Cool. And then I will go through that, recap, and we'll get started. We kind of quit in the middle of a thing, so we're going to pick up right in the middle of some stuff. So, all right. So session 40 was called Festival of the Blazing Sun. It was back on November 17th. Subtitles: Eat pies, drink wine, and be merry. All right. When the group arrived in the main hall of the Blue Water Inn on the morning of the Festival of the Blazing Sun, Juniper shared that she had used her magical runes to ask her god a question. Using her powers of divination, the gnome had inquired, "Why are children required to go to the Festival of the Blazing Sun?" She shared the response she received from her deity. "Children attending the festivals are flowers. Flowers are safe and will not be plucked by any raven, bat, or dog. Children absent from the festival are weeds. Dogs dig up weeds and drag them away. And those who cultivate weeds may never see the sun." Over some breakfast, the group discussed what this cryptic message might mean, as well as the offer they received from Lady Fiona Wachter to take out the Baron's henchman, Ezek. She said she would take the Baron's place and rule the city without wasting resources on silly festivals nor oppressing the people. In exchange, she offered to help them leave this realm and find the old ruins of Argynvost. Juniper's main concern was that if they killed Ezek, there wouldn't be a festival. But Deckard was excited to see a throwdown with Alaric and the huge henchman. So as they were discussing this, there was a knock at the door. A completely nude Thoradin decided to answer. It was Lady Wachter's agent, Ernst, who came by to receive their decision. Thoradin insisted that he come in to discuss with the group, which he did reluctantly. To Ernst's relief, everyone else was properly clothed. Thoradin grabbed some pants. Ernst explained that he would have people in place. All they needed to do was take out Ezek, and they would handle the rest. Ragnar and Spargle had a sidebar, questioning if they were being set up to take the fall for killing the Baron or his henchmen. Alaric, sick of all the deliberation, said, "Screw it, I'm in, let's go take them out." Upon achieving an arrangement that both the party and Ernst seemed to agree upon, Lady Wachter's agent bowed and said that he would see them at the festival. Ragnar suggested scoping out the square in the festival early, so the group devised a plan where they would enter the square in separate groups at different intervals and locations. Their goal was to split Ezek from the crowd to take out the henchman in private and perhaps pin it on someone else. Before leaving for the square, they awoke Erwin to ask for his assistance, and he agreed to send a few were-ravens forward to watch over the festival. Ragnar suggested that Irina go along with them to the festival to stay under their protection. Juniper and Irina had a girl moment as Irina braided Juniper's hair to look more festival appropriate. They left the inn, noting that one of the trees in the otherwise groomed landscaping was suddenly rotted and had strange acorns strewn about. They split into three groups, one to nonchalantly enter the square and scope it out, another to look for Ezek and the guards at the barracks, and a third to scout the Baron's approach. As they entered the square, they found that about half of the crowd seemed to be somewhat enjoying themselves and taking part in the food and drink, while the rest of the attendees were just going through the motions. They found decent food carts, some musicians setting up, wine and other drinks, everything for a proper festival and nothing out of the ordinary. One of the more popular attractions seemed to be a line of people waiting at one cart, where an older grandmotherly woman was selling great-smelling pastries. Another cart was handing out the small wicker suns that they saw Blinsky making the day before. They also noted three ravens perched above the square, but no Baron, Ezek, or Lady Wachter. As Alaric canvassed the crowd, he made sure to hold his necklace and fondle his spear. People left him alone. The town square continued to fill in with people as it grew closer to the start of the festival. Alaric was scanning for Ezek, but did not see him. But he did spot Vasily von Holtz, the noble who had helped them rescue Erwin, standing over by the Wicker Sons. In the meantime, the group took a moment to enjoy themselves a bit. Deckard grabbed some cups of wine. Juniper and Spargle waited in line for the meat pastries and ordered 7 of them, which the old woman put in a small crate for her to take. She warned that they have a kick. The group shortly congregated around the musicians, and each of them took a pie. As the group found a spot to chill out and eat the pastries, Thoradin, Ragnar, and Irina arrived. Always straight to business, Ragnar immediately started scouting the guardhouse on the northeast side of the square. He discreetly peeked into the windows, noting many of the Baron's guards, but no Ezek. Thoradin kept Irina close, and they walked over to the rest of the group. Everyone decided to try meat pie. They were quite good, with a delicious nutmeg flavoring to them and savory, tender meat. However, soon after finishing the small pastries, Thoradin, Juniper, and Spargle spaced out for a moment and then went completely still. Huge smiles on their faces as they just stared at the sky. Alaric, Deckard, Ragnar, and Irina were surprised by this sudden strange behavior from their companions, who are now lying catatonic around the benches. They then noticed that many of the Wallachians were displaying the same strange behavior. Ragnar, not digging this nonsense, walked over to Thoradin and kicked him in the ribs. The dwarf snapped out of his trance immediately and started shouting angrily at the elder dwarf, clearly annoyed at the disruption, and smacked him in frustration. Ragnar then poked Juniper awake. "Hey, little goat lady, wake up." Deckard woke Spargle by rolling him like a log of dirt. They all had the same reaction, very annoyed at being snapped out of their state. Juniper shouted, "Why did you do that?" Deckard asked, "Well, why are you just laying there like that?" Which Spargle replied, "I was looking at this bush." After everyone gained their composure, the group heard bugles announcing the start of the festivities. The doors of the barracks kicked open as the crowd drew towards the center of the square. A parade of unhappy-looking children dressed as sunflowers, face painted yellow, were followed by commoners beating on drums. A woman in white, who they assumed was the Baroness, rode in on a decorated horse. Then a large group of tired-looking men dragged in a massive wicker sun coated in oil to the center of the square. Then the Baron himself, who was also on a well-decorated horse, came in and announced, "In my safe town of Vallaki, we reject the Dark Prince. By the light of the blazing sun, all will be well." As the burgomaster wheeled his horse to the wooden sphere with an arrogant smile on his yellow face, a single high-pitched chirping screech was heard from above. Only a few Wallachians seemed to notice at first, but a rising chorus of dozens followed it. Hundreds of clicking, chirping screeches and the sound of leathery wings on the air as a wave of thousands of bats poured across the sky, casting the town into a surreal twilight darkness. The burgomaster, face illuminated by the blazing torch in the sudden dark, whirled around in circles and defiantly leaned down to thrust the flame against the sun sphere. However, as the bats passed, the sound of their wings was replaced by the sound of heavy rain, chasing the bats' progress from east to west, covering Vallaki in a torrential downpour. As the flames of Burgomaster Vargas's torch began to leap up the oil-soaked sphere, it was extinguished under the sheets of water that soaked the town square. The sudden flurry of bats seemed to drive away the ravens from the top of the buildings. Vasily moved closer to the group, pointing towards the fleeing ravens. They did seem to move towards back southwest, towards like the Blue Water Inn. The Baron continued to try to light the wickered ball to no avail. Ragnar, thinking quickly, ran over to Spargle to suggest they help light the flame. Ragnar agreed to create a distraction to allow Spargle to use some of his fire magic as he dramatically tripped in front of the group, which drew everyone's attention away from the struggling Baron. Spargle initially tried a minor cantrip, which started to catch flame as the Baron exclaimed again, "All will be well." However, it was quickly extinguished. The frustrated Baron kept shouting, "All will be well," while he repeatedly jammed the unlit torch. With some additional muttering and finger wagging, Spargle mustered even more powerful fire magic, a chromatic orb, which burst the wicker ball into a brilliant flame. A relieved smile of victory grew across the Baron's face. Some of the crowd seemed disappointed that there was not more drama or frustration for the vile burgomaster. The rain continued to come down as he walked back towards the barracks. The crowd started shifting around, uncertain if they were free to leave. Things seemed to go as planned as the Baron and his family returned to the building. Juniper and Thoradin walked away from the group for more meat pies. The old woman gladly obliged as they purchased 8 more of them. Spargle then skittered over to the group and snuck up to the front of the line and woofed down some more. The 3 of them all collapsed around the back of the crowd to enjoy their pies. And while I read the last chapter here, can you 3 make a Constitution savings throw with disadvantage?
Oh.
Which means roll twice and take the lower.
I'm gonna grab a drink while you guys do that.
Okay. You can still hear me, Adam? Yeah, I know you can. I see your thumbs up. Okay.
Oh, fuck me. 5.
Okay, so Matt, you rolled the 2. So you rolled 2 dice. So it's the 3 plus 2 is the 5. Sparkle,
Yeah.
you rolled twice, and you got an 18.
18 and a 22. Yeah, 18's the lower.
Okay. All right. And then Juniper, you got a 14.
Actually, you know what? I rolled incorrectly, so I got a 10 and a 7. So I got a 7.
Okay.
Plus 2, which is 9.
Okay. Thanks for being honest. I don't pay attention. All right, cool. And so as they kind of like drifted down, so Thoradin and Juniper, you felt and experienced the exact same effects as the first time. If you recall what that means. If not, I can break out and kind of explain the whole situation again.
Oh, no, I remember quite well.
Will, I saw your note.
Okay.
But Sparkle, you enjoy the pie. It tastes great, and you're kind of disappointed though that you don't get the same sort of sensation. And you chill out, and you look over at Thoradin and Juniper, and you can tell they're kind of having a good time. And you're just kind of like, I don't know if that one was a dud or whatever, but you're a good spotter now as they kind of just sit there. By some bushes about 10 feet away from the pastry lady. And then shortly after that, Ezek jumped down from the stage to start just clearing out the crowd, just kind of getting everybody out of the square and sending them home, until he suddenly froze. Like he was just like going through his motions almost mechanically, barely his eyes open, like he's done this, every week for the last plethora of festivals. And he just his eyes, his face just lit up, eyes wide open, deadlock stare, and he just had this almost he had a shocked look on his face. And you guys noticed he was staring directly at Irina.
Fucking guy, man.
Ragnar noticed this first and was like, "What's going on here?" Vasily, who was standing right next to him, whispered over to Ragnar. He's like, "Man, hey, this doesn't look good. I don't know what's going on, but you should get her out of here."
He's really into blondes.
So then Ragnar ran back to the group to warn them, with Ezek hot on his heels, charging through the crowd, sort of trampling and knocking over festival goers and his own guards, just running like a bull for like all of a sudden. Seeing this, Alaric spun around, not knowing what was going on, and started charging after Ezek, as Thoradin and Sparkle and Juniper kind of just sat back there giggling.
I'm ready for it. Let's do this.
And take us back here.
Here we go.
That'll work. Did it take you guys over to back to the festival?
Square? Yeah, we're in the square.
Yep. We're good.
So, in the interest of honesty, I think I threw myself in front of Izek.
Yeah, I kind of scrambled through a bunch of stuff right at the end there, so we can kind of like replay that a little bit if you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
I didn't necessarily do everything right at the end, and I wanted to make sure I got it. So, hold on 1 second. Just got to get a couple things. So it's not working for me.
Gonna be a bloodbath.
Oh,
I
there's
got
gonna be
front row
rain.
seats.
To the
I got front row
apocalypse.
seats to the end of the world.
I had a good seat there.
Right. Roll 20 bugged out there for a second.
Well, stories and technology don't really go well together these days.
Right.
Dude, I'm telling you, my computer shit is making me not want to use my computer lately. It's
That-
half the reason I haven't even been playing games. It's driving me nuts.
So weird.
I need my refrigerator to clean out if that's philosophy. That was a joke about me eating a lot.
Yeah, I was like, wait, why would you want your fridge not to work?
All right. So go ahead and roll for initiative, everybody. And
Here we go.
Mine like
All right.
Even the people that are all fucked up.
Yeah. Yep. You
Oh,
might
boy.
not get to act on your first turn, but you'll that'll kind of be the order you're in.
Got it.
Make sure you add all your modifiers and whatnot. If you're on your sheet,
Look at those 20s, huh?
Content. All right. There you go.
Oh, oops.
I'm ready for crazy fucking shit. Well, none of this fucking dagger knife bullshit. I'm ready for fucking
I'm gonna grab
crossbows
a
and
physical dice, though. Okay, Dan.
yeah, that's cool. All right, so you guys got some sick rolls here, man.
I'm ready for some Matrix shit.
I just rolled twice because I have advantage.
Okay, good thing you do.
Yeah, it worked real well.
All right, so let's see. I'll start with Juniper. Juniper, was that your roll of 4?
Yeah, that was my 4.
4. Okay. Deckard, you get a 25.
Yep.
Oh,
Right,
you're gonna sideswipe this guy.
Gordon 12. And you guys make sure you don't have. I don't think anybody besides Alaric gets advantage on initiative. Oh wait. Oh yeah, Alaric.
Is that because he's raging?
But Deckard has a +5. Alaric, yeah, he's recklessly raging.
He's like.
Fargo got a 21 total.
Uh,
And Gordon. Oh wait, Alaric, you got 11.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I made a chart here. So I can do this very quickly here. Let me get the. Do you guys see the turn order thing when it pops up?
Yep.
I see.
it's blank. I see it, but it's blank.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. All right. Good. So let me see how this is gonna work here. So, Deckard, I gotta find everybody. Did you see me? Did you see me add Deckard?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Just give me a second here to get everybody loaded. Better.
Tell you what, maybe I shouldn't switch to physical dice. So far, rolling pretty good.
So I got up to take a piss last night, and like I left my monitors on in my workstation in the living room. So like I saw my monitors on as I walked past them, and I fucking flipped them off. I said, "Fuck you." It's like, when you're that mad at work, it's like 4 in the morning. Like flipping off my monitors. So some bullshit like Tennessee, registration, alcohol beverage association, and I'm like, fuck you.
All right. So, Izek starts storming across the crowd. A number of guards too, sort of suddenly like spring into action and kind of don't know what's going on. They're looking at him. Some are following him. Some are like taking a half step backwards.
Sorry, I sort of sorted this out with you before, Dan.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine. If you guys don't mind me side chatting a little bit. Yeah. So. Hold on, Neil joined the stream. With his
I didn't know if it was gonna be you or me that would say something.
Hey Neil, what kind of switches are those? All of them, ever.
All of them, blue, green, black, and red and brown.
The rainbow colors fucking switches.
Rainbow switches.
Sorry, Neil, if you're listening.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Okay.
Okay.
God. It's awful. All right, so all this sort of commotion, there's still a good crowd here. The Baron and his wife and dogs had kind of gone back into that building, and now it's just like all eyes on the square. Everybody that's in the vicinity that's paying attention is kind of watching Izek just suddenly freak out and run across the square. Deckard, he's only about 10 or 15 feet away from you, and he's only about 10 or 15 feet away from Irina, and he's charging right at her with basically Ragnar in the way. And you get to go first. You kind of get to spring to action.
In the commotion, Deckard looks frozen, and I don't mean metaphorically, of course. Like he's actually like, you notice for a moment he is almost jaw hanging down, looking toward like the pie station, looking toward that group of people. Near the pies, and as the commotion, so I'm assuming the commotion has just started, right? Like,
yeah, this is all happening in sort of like live action.
So he's like looking, and then he looks over, and I see Izek kind of charging toward Irina, right?
Yeah, and you see Ragnar and Vasily kind of standing somewhat in the way. But yeah.
And he looks like he's ready just to slay. Like, what is it? Do I have any indication that violence is about to occur?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Try not to meta this.
No, I won't let you.
14 plus, so 16. 14 plus 2.
You get a similar sensation to, let's say you saw a stray dog across the street, and then you saw a stray cat, and the dog started chasing after the cat. You could tell it's going at it hard, but you don't know if it wants to play or eat it or kill it or whatever. You just see it's really, really locked on and laser focused and charging, and you don't necessarily see aggression, but you definitely see some focus and something going on.
So Deckard, unsure of what's happening. Kind of very sleight of hand, draws, readies his dagger and hand crossbow. Gets a bolt ready. And Deckard actually, you see him start, and it's not even swift. It's almost like a movement. Like he just starts drifting this way. But it's not like he's running. Like he actually kind of turns and he's almost like facing. Like he's moving over here, so he's in line of Izek. But you notice like his attention doesn't really leave over here. And can I hold an action?
You can. Do you want to hold it until a specific?
Yeah, I want to hold it until Izek or anybody else in the square actually attacks someone in our party.
All right. So you're taking what's called a ready action. So
Okay.
ready in action for later use during the round. Decide what circumstances might trigger it. So that would be Izek attacking one of your friends or Irina.
Yeah, if he does anything like that's aggressive physically to anybody in our party, including Vasily and Irina, then I want to take an action.
And which is what?
Oh, so how does it? So I would. So how does that work? I guess I would fire at them with my crossbow. Now, if I hold that action, does that trigger extra attack and stuff, or would that just be that one thing I can do?
No, what it does is it kind of like reserves your reaction to use your action anytime you want outside of your turn until your next turn.
Got it. Okay, so I'd really just be firing my crossbow.
At Izek or anyone else who attacks.
Right. Any hostile person.
Okay. All right. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
You said crossbow, so you get your crossbow out, ready and knocked and ready to go. Okay, cool. All right, Spargle.
Is this just a random person? I can't remember. This person right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like a commoner at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's quite a few commoners in crowds and stuff like that. Can you guys tell who the guards are?
Yeah.
The ghoulish looking ones?
Yeah.
Like they're holding something. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, these guys are guards.
What are the statue-looking people?
Just Barovians. It's just a
Okay.
shitty icon.
They look like chicken people? Yeah.
This guy here.
Yeah. I didn't know if
Yeah,
it was like of Edgar Allan Poe.
I've honestly considered subscribing to Hero Forge so I can make a token.
I've got that. Because I was on a backer of that color thing. I've got the token maker. I just never bothered to figure it out and learn it.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to sidetrack.
But yeah, a lot of these icons are just commoners. So
Okay. So, like, at the risk of being annoying here, do you mind, like, kind of the same thing where what I perceived from this, like, so I'm sitting there, you know, I ate my pie and you know, I look up and Izek jumps off the stage, right? And
yeah, you kind of like you slump down. You're eating your pie and you enjoy the pie. Thoradin and Juniper have theirs too, and you see them kind of just get that soft look on.
Yeah, I got a bad pie.
Chill, and you're just like, you know, looking at them, and you hear that kind of like, you know, when you're in a bar and a fight breaks out way on the other side of the bar, and you can tell there's like some commotion and people like oohing and on, and you know,
Like a biker brawl.
stools, you know, squeaking out from the bar to turn
That's
around
so
and watch what's going on. Yeah. That's kind of what you get. You just kind of get that sensation, and you look up, and that's kind of all you see. You do see from where you're at. You know, you're kind of, again, it's a sea of nameless faces, except you know you see Deckard, and you notice what he explained, which is despite all this kind of craziness going on, he's kind of holding his crossbow and kind of like looking all different ways, but he's got his eyes focused more back towards the meat pastry cart. even though the commotion seems to be coming up more towards the stage.
Okay. But I can't tell that he's going towards any party member. Like, I can't tell that he's going towards.
No, he hasn't moved really. He's just kind of like standing back there. He's looking at Irina and looking over at the meat cart, and then you guys are right there.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not sure if I can do this within the same turn or not, but I was gonna reach over and shake Juniper and say, "Hey!" like, and just kind of like hard, right? And give Thornton a cock smack, and then if I'm assuming that's probably as much of an action, and then I'm just going to try to use as much of my turn to run that way because something's going down, I figure. But I don't know what are these squares at? Where was I?
They're 5-foot squares.
Oh, they are?
Yep.
10, 15. Okay, let's see here. 15, 20. All right, I'm going to go right by. I'm just going to kind of run up next to, because Deckard seemed to realize something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm.
All right,
Yeah.
so I will let you.
That's what you got.
Yep. I'll let you use your interaction and your action to wake those two up, and your movement to get over to Deckard. Now,
Okay.
you'll get over to him kind of out of breath and won't have this exact moment to really have any further dialogue. But I'll let you do that.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And so, Juniper Thornton, again, you are just rudely and abruptly torn out of the state that you were in to be returned to. You're laying in some like half dead, ugly Barovian landscaping, backs up against this building. As you barely get your eyes open, you're like, the fuck, you know, and it's just like that rain and the dark, stormy clouds, and you're like, everything's miserable again. As you see Spargle right after he smacks you in the nuts and shakes you away, Juniper, just going off towards Deckard, and you don't know what's going on.
Please tell me that you smacked Juniper before the nuts smacking. That was the order of operations, correct?
I assumed
At
he
least
hit
use
me
different hands.
Yeah, I was kind of doing like
penis.
one of these things, like, you know, like that, just like a, you know.
Like he was holding two shake weights.
Is it an outside-in algorithm, or what? How does that work?
Oh, God.
Oh, somebody didn't like that joke.
All right.
Just get out.
I don't know why that happens to you. That must be a weird Discord thing on your end.
That is really weird.
Reinstall Windows.
Hey, listen, buddy. You can't give anyone advice
always-
right now.
Always fixes your problems. Except not.
Spoken like a true asshole.
Why am I forgetting what movie that's from? Sorry.
You'll figure it out. Let it
Yeah,
sit for a
let it
few
sit.
minutes.
Hey Ragnar, what are you doing right now? Like, just what's your stance? And I got to tell everybody, Ragnar did a thing and Juniper did a thing at the end of the last session, but because I didn't do some other things in order, I kind of rolled those back a little bit and let them know that they can both kind of redo those if they want, kind of depending on how things
I'm fine
transpire.
with that.
Okay. But so what are you doing though generally? Like,
I'm
what's
listening.
your stance? What are you looking at, Ragnar?
So I heard Vasily, and I see Ezek, and I kind of know shit's about to go down. So I've put myself as much in between them as I can, and I'm kind of just in like balls of my feet, kind of like a third baseman, ready to get a ground ball, like ready to move left, right, whatever.
So you're kind of like planted, feet are planted. You're just kind of like, whoa, what the hell's happening here? And just kind
Yeah,
of
like ready to do an athletic movement.
Like Cal Ripken.
okay, good. So Ezek now, who's charging, jumped down from this stage here earlier, started clearing out the crowds that were over here. These people were kind of like being shooed away. He starts charging over. Now he takes a brief moment to pause and he looks back. He looks to his left and his right and he sees guards on both sides. And he makes this motion with his hands and he says, grab her, grab the girl, as he starts running towards Irina. I'm Vasily. I have a small penis. So he says that. He runs forward, and he grabs Irina, or attempts to.
You can change those notes?
Small.
I'm experimenting with many of the tools in Roll20.
Oh god.
So he
This is bad.
grabs Irina. Is it like, is he dragging her away?
Well,
Like-
I got to make a couple rolls here real quick to see what.
Oh,
he does.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. So he comes running over, and he is, 4 times the mass of Irina in terms of just his, size,
Displacement? Yeah.
girth, and everything. And he runs up and he goes to and he grabs her, and you're like, and those that are close by think she'd absolutely be crushed by his size. And even though she's white as a ghost and her eyes are wide open, or it's just kind of like shock herself, she manages to drop to the ground and completely evade his grasp. So he kind of grasps like just air, almost gets a little bit of her hair as she kind of like falls to the ground and then like rolls to the side a little bit closer to Ragnar.
Oh, like when the cave trolls go after the hobbits in the Mines of Moria.
Very good.
Wow.
That's a pretty damn good analogy. And Ezek roars and looks over to the side and again starts barking to his guards.
And he says, "Get me a gas station burrito."
Oh wow. We're already there.
With a little bit, he does have a little bit of movement left, and he moves a little bit further. After he misses her and she scrambles to the side, he kind of jumps over a bench and gets ready to kind of like leap on top of her again. But that's all he can do right now. So Ragnar, you saw that go down. Irina's kind of just laying right by your feet. She did like a little bit of a dip and a barrel roll over by this little bench as Ezek is coming back over to kind of try to grab her again.
Okay. So I have a quick question. These benches that are on either side of Ezek, are they like rooted to the ground, or are they just kind of like flimsy little benches?
They're pretty well made, but they're freestanding. They're not like those park benches that are posted into the ground. They're like furniture that can be moved around, but they're heavy, 2x4 type of wood.
Okay. I didn't know he was going to get as far as he did, but what I wanted to do, and I don't know if I'm close enough, I wanted to kind of reach into my pack and get my rope out. And I kind of wanted to just leap onto his back and put the rope around his neck. Am I close enough to do that?
Yes.
I'm a very athletic dwarf.
We'll let the rolls determine that.
I got athletics +8.
Oh, wow. What are you, on fucking PEDs?
I do. I do a lot of CrossFit in Metro Hall.
CrossFit.
Okay, so in order, so here's how it's gonna work. You can get to him. You can jump up on him. You're gonna have to grapple him enough that you get a hold on him, so that you can even attempt to do the rope, which is then going to be another pretty tricky And what you're trying to do is pretty complicated to such a big
Yeah.
guy and doing it so fast.
Okay.
So
Am I allowed to withdraw that, or do I have to go forward?
you
with
can
that?
withdraw that. Yeah, I mean, if we're just talking through what your options are, what I would want you to do is run up, which you have plenty of movement, make a grapple to make sure you get a good hold on him, and then I would probably have you make a dexterity check to tie the rope, and that might, depending on how the other things go, might be with disadvantage.
All right, and not to be annoying, but one last question. Would it be easier if I just tried to get the rope around his legs or waist? Because then I don't have to grapple him. Or jump on him anyway.
It's like an AT-AT. You're gonna use harpoons and tow cables.
I just
Yeah,
want
how
to slow
does
this
that
guy
work? That's
down.
an interesting situation.
I don't think I could take him down solo. I need a Lark, but I want to slow this MFer down.
Is it all just grappling? Regardless of how you try to play it? I don't know.
Can you lasso him?
Well, I was going to try to climb up his back before, so...
Yeah, so I explained how it would work if you want to climb up on his back and all that. If you want to try to do the AT-AT walker thing on Hoth, I'll let you do that with just a dexterity check with disadvantage because he's moving, which makes it very difficult.
Okay, last
If he was
question.
held still or if he was laying on the ground, if he was unconscious, if he was being held by somebody else, I would do it straight up, but it's gonna be tough.
What kind of ground are we standing on? Is there any dirt?
It is all dirt. It's dirt and gravel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dirt and gravel.
So here's what I want to do then. Instead of all that other really cool stuff that I probably would have rolled a 2, I'd love to just maybe move like right there,
Yep.
scoop up a huge handful of dirt and gravel,
Uh-huh.
and just hurl it in his face.
You love to see
Okay.
I'm talking like dirt clots and whatever crap is on the ground. It was raining.
Yeah, it is muddy. So it's muddy. It's rocks. It's pebbles. Hold on one second. I think what we're gonna try is what's called a dirty trick maneuver.
A dirty what? Sanchez?
Dirty
trick.
Sanchez maneuver.
Dirty Sanchez.
Sanchez maneuver?
Haven't heard that in a minute.
Ragnar tried the Dirty Sanchez maneuver, and Isaac hit him in the teeth.
Trying to see how to make this kind of fair. Let me see. Sorry. Okay. So if that's what you want to do, let's see. Kind of making up some of this as I go here. Looking at your sheet to see what kind of makes sense here. All right, I'm gonna have you make an athletics check. If what you're doing is trying to like grab a whole chunk of like dirt and mud and stuff and throw it up in his face, or kind of kick it up into his face. Yeah, so go ahead.
All right.
Make an athletics check. So with your modifier?
No, that's another 8 on top of that.
Okay. All right. So you kind of Irina does this little roll. You come up over to the side, and are you grabbing it with your hands? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm reaching down. I'm grabbing as much as I can with my hands, like Matrix style, sliding.
Yep. Okay, so you grab a whole big chunk, and it's a good amount of mud and some dry stuff and small pebbles and big pebbles, and you chuck it, and it lands squarely in his face. I mean, just like a pie in the face kind of covers every inch of his face. And he starts screaming and kind of pulling the mud out of his eyes. And it's just his eyes are completely shut and caked, closed with mud, as he continues to scramble around with that.
I'm so screwed. All right, and then can I just kind of like move in front of Irina and just tell her to get the hell out of here? And then that'll be it.
Where did you start?
I started like, I think right there or there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Right above Vasily.
Yep. So I just want to
So
like
you got
now
25 movement. You're going
Step-
here. Yeah,
as
that's
close
fine.
to her as I can and just be like, Irina, get out of here.
Yep. So that's what you do. You kind of roll over, throw this mud in Ezek's face. He starts screaming and kind of loses his focus for a second, and then you can move back, towards Irina, and you tell her to get out of here.
Yep. Get out of here, Irina. Run while you can.
She looks at you, and she's terrified. Although she kind of seems like a little slightly at ease now that Ezek isn't trying to grab her anymore. He's now trying to do something else. Vasily looks at you, Ragnar, and says, I can get her back to the Mardikovs and have them secure the Blue Water Inn if you guys want to meet us there.
Spaghetti Van Helsing, do it. Get her out of here.
She looks at him. She looks at Vasily and kind of reaches her hand out, and he grabs her hand, and he does this like move like where he like puts his like cloak around her, and you can see because you saw him do it, but if you hadn't seen him do it, you wouldn't know that she's under there. So he's got a kind of sweet little move to kind of sneak her out of the crowd. Which he does. He kind of dips into. Oh no, he doesn't. It's not his turn. Okay, so Vasily at least acknowledges that he'll do that. Okay, and that's your turn. That was your movement, your action.
Everything else.
Cool. One of the guards, this guard here, none of the guards know what the hell is happening all of a sudden and why Ezek is suddenly just freaking out. But seeing that his boss just had one of the crowd festival attendees just threw a bunch of mud at his boss, he probably feels like he's going to get in a lot of trouble if he doesn't do something here. So he's going to move 5, 10, 15. So he comes running up and to look at Ezek and see what's going on, and you hear him go, "Boss, what? You okay, boss?" And Ezek is still clawing mud out of his face, and he's like, "Don't stop the girl, get him!" And he's pointing in a wrong direction at where he thinks Ragnar was. He's all spun around right now. The guard not sure what to do, but with Ragnar right in front of him, he pulls out he has like a one-handed battle axe.
Oh shit.
No, he doesn't. Completely lied about that. He has a spear. Doesn't look anything like a battle axe. But he's running up with his spear, and he kind of takes it. He's got it one-handed because they all have shields too, and he kind of like, he almost like reluctantly kind of takes like a gingerly stab at Ragnar.
It's not going to go well for him.
Aww.
But it does kind of. Let me. You tell me. He got an 18.
I have 19 armor class.
Wow. Okay. So surprisingly, the spear comes right at the center of your chest, and you would think that it would have been pretty painful piercing through your armor, but your chainmail holds and does no damage. Another guard way over here, he just moves up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's kind of moving up towards the crowd to get a little bit closer. Both of the guards looked very reluctant to even get involved in any of this, but they're doing it as almost as if they're expecting. Then Vasily, after talking to Ragnar and kind of agreeing to get her out of here, you see him do that little move to kind of like hide her, and they start to head this way, which is where you guys came from the Blue Water Inn. So he seems to be taking her towards there. And they at least get far enough that there's enough crowd that the crowd has sort of filled in. But the guards have seen which the two guards that you guys are that are kind of up here by the fight see where she's going and seem to be looking that direction. So they at least saw at least the two of them, not Izek, but the two guards saw Vasily do this thing and start heading west.
Well, they better mind their own fucking business.
Another guard from way back here comes running forward again as well. He's right next to you, Alaric. He doesn't seem to notice that you're part of the situation at this point. He's just running along. Again, there's peasants, guards, crowd. Everything's just kind of people in every direction.
Wasn't I like weapon drawn, running?
No, I think
I
weren't you
know I'm
fingering
late.
it?
What?
You were running. You were running after him. I don't know if you said you pulled out a weapon or.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But you are
No,
kind of
that's-
mid. You're
That's
charging.
very, very okay with me if he thinks that.
Yep. No, but he was standing like right next to you now, not realizing. I guess. Oh, Thoradin, I skipped your turn, but go ahead. I didn't mean to do that. I clicked it by accident.
How am I feeling?
So you just got woken up. I got ripped out of this your pleasant dream world by Spargo, who smacked you in the nuts, and then went running away. And then you heard Ezek scream and all this kind of commotion over by your dwarf buddy.
How do I feel? Am I nauseous? Am I?
No, you feel okay, other than what I kind of described to you last session.
So
But
if I had to throw up, I couldn't. Is what you're saying?
you probably can if you want to. They're like,
Okay. I could. All right.
Virgil, you can always throw up, I guess. But
All right. So
you got enough
If
meat
it-
pie in your belly.
if this is wrong, just tell me I can't, and then we'll figure something else out. So I ate a lot of meat pies. I definitely overate on the meat pies, and there's something in them that, while not making me like want to retch like it's food poisoning, I just probably like a horse. I overate, and I feel like I want to get some out. So I start to come to, and I see what's going on. I see Izek screaming. He's got mud in his fucking face, and I just start kind of like walking over, like not fast, holding my stomach, just saying to myself, "Oh, I ate too many of those freaking meat pies. Oh, I gotta clear up some real estate if I'm gonna keep eating." So I just lumber my way through this crowd, and I'm like pushing people to the side.
Yeah, a couple of people in the crowd see your face, and you kind of hold your mouth, and they make a clear path as you walk forward.
So I get pretty close to Izek, and I just fucking throw up and blow chunks all over him.
Okay. The crowd jumps back. Ezek, who can't see right now, doesn't know what's going on. I don't know that there's a fucking rule in the Dungeon Master's Guide for this to roll on. You're always making up your own shit here.
I love Dan's reaction. He's like,
are you intentionally trying to make this, like, are you targeting Ezek with this and trying to make a point of throwing up on him, or are you just telling me you're stumbling through the crowd and throw up?
Oh no, it's definitely strategic because, like, I know he's the bad guy, but like my desire to throw up is higher than to like fight. Like I need to get rid of some. Like I need to free up real estate. Like I'm very bloated. I'm loaded and bloated. I really got to get rid of some of this, and I just won't be really good in combat until I get some of it out. So I'm like, well,
He can't fight with all that in his belly.
yeah, I'm like, let me just go on Izek, you know, just kind of like fuck him up a little bit.
All right.
All right.
Roll a Constitution check.
Okay.
I'm really making this up now.
There we go. I have a feeling that was really good. I have a feeling a natural one is going to be in my favor.
Well, I was actually looking at it as your ability to kind of control your bodily functions as a factor of your Constitution check. So
Okay.
it's actually not a good roll. And what that means is you just threw up in a random direction. You weren't able to control your bodily function the way you would have if you had a more masterful handle on your vomit action. But
Fair enough.
So roll a
Roll
an eight-sided die.
As Irina passed you, she fucking got throw up all over her.
Okay. So you look, you're running forward. You're like, oh, I got to get this out of my gut. And your plan is to throw up all over poor Ezek, who's got mud in his face already. And you actually throw up right between Deckard and Ezek. You just retch there. Make this big pile of mess. Deckard, I don't know what your reaction to that is.
Does any of it get on my boots?
I was gonna say it's inches from touching your boots. It's literally just splashing on the ground right in front of you. Maybe the
Shoes
rain.
are Italian. They're worth more than your life.
Like Deckard, like he's disgusted at first, and then he kind of right. He gives like when you see someone throw up, like he kind of like, but he holds it in. He's like,
Get a
Champion, get it all out.
At least you weren't eating wolf pies.
You know you have to improvise as a DM when someone's
Yeah.
taking the vomit action, right?
Right, the vomit. All right, but I'm gonna say that's it. That's all you got in you for this turn. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
give you guys a little gift there in chat.
Oh, I hope it's that scene in Mafia when they all throw up.
Can't believe that Daniel deal you got me on my insurance.
I just watched Stand By Me with the kids. They wanted to see that movie.
Everyone.
I don't know if you remember that
You want to meet the queen?
pie eating contest.
I'm not dressed for that. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor.
All right, so
State Farm is
Alaric,
there.
this other guy comes running right by you. This guard here, and he,
Sorry.
and he runs right through your attack of opportunity. Doesn't realize at all that you're even engaged in this battle. So, he's running by you, and he's attempting to run towards Ezek.
Okay.
You want to do anything, or do you want to just let him go?
Well, I mean, I get it. It's an attack of opportunity then, right?
If you want to take it, yep.
I would like to do that.
Hey man,
Okay.
great fight.
All right. Yep. So go ahead
I don't
and
think I've actually fought since I have this new weapon, so I'm just double checking everything.
yep. Take your time.
So has anybody actually struck anybody yet?
Nope.
Like, okay.
Jesus, 14 to hit.
All right. So this guard is just running by you. You're running too, but he kind of like skirts around you, not even thinking that you're. He's so focused on Ezek. And then you. What are you hitting him with? What are you attacking with?
Spear.
The spear that you found at the Yester Hill.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah. So you take this spear and you kind of like try to jab him as he's almost in the back as he's going by you. And unfortunately, he just kind of he's the way he's running. You just kind of like swing wide to the right and miss him.
When you whiff on an attack of opportunity, does that have any negative effect? Does that mean anything for me?
No, other than that you
It
didn't
doesn't
damage
like,
him.
expose myself.
Nope, not at all. It's just a free attack. But now it's also your turn, and that guy that you just missed is right in front of you. The guard who was standing next to you suddenly like looks up, like surprised that you have this.
You're
produced
swinging
this.
that shit?
Yeah. Yep.
You hate to see it.
I know you hate to see it. So, I think definitely what makes the most. So, how did the the guy next to me, not the one I swung at. You said he's just kind of like, he's definitely aware of what's going on and that I was trying to mess his friend up.
Yeah. That one right below you just saw you swing at his buddy and was just he was running too, but he stops and looks at you like, whoa, why are you swinging at us?
And the guy I swung at and missed, he reacted how? Like, did he evade my attack? Or did I just whiff?
You just whiffed.
You know what I'm saying? Was it like me trying to tackle a guy in football and I didn't even get him and he just kept running?
Yeah. It's like when one of my kids is running through the family room and I try to kick them down and I miss and they didn't even notice and they just keep running. That's what that guy's doing right now.
Okay. So, I guess a little bit out of embarrassment, Alaric would, since his weapon's drawn, he just tried to take a swipe at the dude that was running by him and whiffed. He is just gonna, in one similar motion, continue to and swing at the dude next to him.
I meant to hit this guy. I was just doing a cool move.
Yeah. It was just a big wind-up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
all right. Yep. Go ahead.
Try to poke
Make
him
another
with my
attack.
spear. I'm sorry. Sorry, this has been a while. But as I'm swinging and missing and decide to swing again, Alaric is just gonna, let out a battle cry and
This is what Matt's been waiting for.
Use his
Waiting.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude! I don't play this game for a month and I don't remember anything. I want to say Battle Shop, but it's Rage. So
You're gonna use your bonus action
use
to
my bonus
enter.
action as a rage, so I'm not going to take an extra attack.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my rage, and then I will try to poke him with my spear.
Can he still take a second attack?
Are you using that one or two-handed? No, that was his opportunity attack. The other one was.
Yeah, that was separate. But I used my bonus action to do rage, so I think I just get an attack on my first turn in this case.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bonus action. I always get
Your
so
ra-
confused with the frenzy.
Your rage is a bonus action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's generally something that I would do while we're about to engage combat, but in this case I'm not. So, anyways, yeah, I'm just taking an attack.
All right. Go ahead and roll your attack. I'm sorry, you're using this one or two-handed?
Two. Oh, I didn't know I could use it both ways. What does that mean? In my mind it was two-handed, so.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. It just then you do the 1d8 plus 8, the 1d6 plus 8 for the damage.
Oh, that's what the 1d6 and the 1d8 means. Okay, so
Yep.
1d6 is one-handed, 1d8 is two-handed?
Yep.
Yeah, two-handed. What? Why would I ever one hand?
Oh, if you wanted to have a shield or something else in your other hand.
Got it. Okay, yeah, you can always assume it's going to be two-handed in most cases, I guess.
I'm gonna grab water. I'll be right back.
Yep. So so you miss the one guard, and then you kind of regrip the blood spear and spin the other way and jam it straight into the stomach of the guy next to you. Go ahead and roll your damage. Who is exceptionally surprised now.
12 damage.
12 damage. Okay. Yeah, he looks really bad. He suddenly realized you were part of this fight and all this commotion that's going on. He had this shocked look in his face, and then he just jammed a spear through his gut. There's blood pouring out both sides. You pull the spear back out, and he grabs his own spear and just sort of stabilizes himself a little bit, but he looks pretty bad. All right. Another guard from back here comes rushing up towards the rest of the group. That's his turn. Juniper. Same thing for you. You kind of woke up out of, ripped awake from this what you were doing after the meat pie, the dream pastry, and you're now sitting in the bushes. Same thing. You saw Spargle kind of shake you awake and go running across, and then you've seen all this other stuff happen kind of in the middle.
As far as what Ezek has, his weapon, what's it made of?
He is holding on to a. He has a battle axe in his good arm.
Okay, so is the axe
It's a wooden hilt and some type of metal handle.
a metal handle?
I mean, metal blade.
Oh, okay.
Metal blade.
All right, and what's like? I know this sounds innocuous, but like, what's the weather like? You said like a storm passed through, or
It's still storming. After that, like cloud of bats came through, it's been a pretty significant. It's noon or about 2 in the afternoon now, and it's a pretty dark, thunderstormy kind of rain coming down.
okay. So Juniper kind of stumbles out of the topiary and she like trips over one of the plants and kind of like falls out of the flower bud and makes her way forward towards the little area where everybody is kind of trying to keep Ezek away from Vasily and, discovering Irina. Let's see. 5.
The squares with the big crowds in them are going to be like difficult terrain.
Okay.
Just because it's hard to weave in and out of the crowds, even though they're starting to pull back and disperse a little bit. But each square is 5, and you can go diagonal.
All right. So she moves to about there behind Thoradin and, steering clear of any debris. And then she kind of reaches down and presses her fingers into the dirt. And the 5-foot square that Ezek is standing in becomes difficult terrain.
Okay. What are you using if you want?
Mold Earth.
Mold Earth.
It has a 30-foot range, and it only impacts 5 feet.
Okay. So Thoradin, you hear Juniper kind of run up behind you and do exactly what she just described, and you notice right in front of you the rocks and gravel and mud and everything that's sort of splashing from the rain starts to kind of bubble up even more, and kind of like there's like it seems to be almost living the ground. It's kind of like crawling all over itself as you see Ezek, who's still pulling mud and rocks out of his own eyes, start to kind of like waver a little bit as he's trying to maintain his balance. Is that it for you, Juniper?
That is it.
Okay. All right, this other guard. Let's see, this guy here. He comes running forward next to Ezek, and he, seeing the ground and everything go like that, he kind of like grabs Ezek to sort of stabilize him. He says, I got you, boss. You all right? You all right? Ezek's just screaming. He says, stop the girl. And the guard's like, what girl? And he looks around and he sees Juniper, and he's like, boss, I got to hold you. You're going to drop. And Ezek just growls as this guard doesn't know what to do. And he's just still holding on to Ezek. Alaric,
fast.
You see another guard come running up behind you, Alaric. Now seeing that you're swinging at some of his companions, he comes charging at you. He throws his shield to the side and grabs. I don't know if Adam can even hear me, but whatever.
I can always hear you.
Okay, so yeah, he throws his shield to the side, grabs his spear with both hands. This guard seems a little more zealous than the others, and comes charging at you, trying to drill it right into your back.
Okay.
10 does not hit, I assume.
Nope.
So you feel the spear kind of hit you in the back. What kind of armor are you wearing?
Leather. Oh, wait. No, I lied. No, I don't think I wear anything. I think it's just like a shirt that I wear.
Okay. So your shirt protects you from this spear.
It's my...
No, I think the guard kind of looks surprised that his forceful charge and his trusty spear did not even go through your thick hide. All right, Deckard, your turn.
Well, real quick, when he tries to thrust that spear in Alaric's back,
oh, you had a ready to action.
So like right as that happens, what do I have here? Yeah. It's almost simultaneous. A crossbow bolt just zips right past Alaric. Strikes this dude right in the face.
The guy that was charging at his back?
Yeah, the guy who tried to stab him in the back.
Okay. So with that, used your reaction from your last turn to trigger your held action. Go ahead and roll your crossbow attack. That was your to hit?
Yeah. 26 to hit and then 6 damage.
All right. So, yep, you hits him right after he kind of jerks back for a second, surprised that his spear didn't pierce. A crossbow bolt drills him in the shoulder as he looks up, kind of surprised that there's even more people to fight, and hits him in the shoulder, hurts him pretty good. And now it's your next turn.
Awesome. Okay, so my headphones were wigging out. So what exactly is happening to Ezek right now? What did Juniper do?
So the ground underneath him, the mud and dirt and everything, has started to almost like... You good? Well,
It's like in True Lies when they're filming the video and he's like, "Battery, that's it, battery."
Battery. Find another one.
Hang on, I think my headphones just died. Give me 1 sec.
Battery.
Did have we always known Ezek's last name, or was that just a thing that you?
I asked him, I was like, what's your deal? Are you Italian? And he's like, yeah, I'm Italian. My last name is Strazzini.
Yeah, it was just like a fun conversation you guys had.
Just a fun conversation between two Italians, you know?
Italians.
I said Italian stallion.
The only people
sound
that say the word Italian, Italians, are Italians.
Yeah.
Sound like a damn monster movie. Look at that. It's Nick Stazzini. How you doing? All right.
Fucking down meatball palm and cigarettes.
Hey, you go tell Alaric to go fuck himself, all right? That's what you tell him.
I'm gonna fuck him in his greaseball ass.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. You might need to just skip me for a sec. I'm trying to get.
Oh, baby, you's all right. We could take a minute. Adam's probably gonna need water. Crocus is gonna have to take a piss. Ooh, what do you got? What kind of libation is that? What do you got going on tonight, huh? That's the Glen. That's
47th glass of scotch, so I'm good.
That's good. Your liver's
No
probably
water
doing
for me
good.
tonight. That was a Christmas gift, so I decided to drink the whole bottle tonight.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
there
no,
you
you
go.
want some? Come on now.
Just in
have a
preparation
bit.
for New Year's Eve, when I get really trashed tomorrow.
Nah, you won't drink for New Year's.
Oh no. No. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Someone just fart.
Oh, have you seen? You like scotch? You like whiskeys and stuff too, Adam?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those cold smokers before? Those. It's like a little dome and it pumps smoke in from it's almost like a mini smoker, but you use it for drinks and food.
No.
You You've never heard it? So people have been doing it. That's like it's supposed to be great for like whiskeys and scotch and bourbon and stuff like that. You put these like little dome over your drink, and it pulls in cold smoke basically from this thing, and it's supposed to be amazing.
What does it give it, like a
It's just,
smoky
gives it
flavor?
more different,
Yeah.
It's just different flavor. Wow.
I mean, you can do it with meat and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like if you want to just give your food, like instead of smoking it, you just give it like a zap of this thing, and for like bacon or whatever. But
For
the big
fuck's
thing that
sakes.
people talk about is like with your drinks, like scotch. My buddy's got one, and
All right, I'm back. I got my.
he does it
I'm
with
so
whiskey
sorry,
and
guys.
bourbon.
That's cool.
Stupid ass
Find out some more about that.
Yeah.
Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah, it happens. I
All
needed
right.
a break anyhow, so we're good. Okay, so what happened was
Wait.
Juniper.
Time out. Did my headset seriously just die?
We got gremlins.
Well,
I'm
I'll
telling
explain
you, the stories and technology don't go well together.
Hello?
it. Hey,
It's just fucking unbelievable.
you good now?
I am for now. I don't know why. I was just sitting here. I don't know why anything happened.
Who's
Mine-
next?
right.
So Juniper ran up Deckard and did something, kind of like touched the ground and was doing her weird gnome druid magic stuff, and all the dirt and earth and everything underneath Ezek started like bubbling and boiling almost.
Okay.
And he's having a hard time kind of standing up and walking around in it. Another guard ran up to help kind of stabilize him, who's standing kind of right next to him.
Ezek hasn't actually. So he just tried to grab Irina. And other than that, pretty much someone tried to stab Alaric in the back.
Yeah, and these guards are now kind of converging around, both attacking your teammates and trying to help Ezek. Vasily pieced out with Irina toward the west, and the two guards that are by Ezek seem to be more concerned about Ezek, but know which way they went, or see
Okay.
them tracking them.
And what of other people in the square? It
They're
has-
they're like pulling back, like a
Okay.
street brawl was going on, and like the people are like, half of them are like, yeah, I want to kind of see this. Some people are like, I'm getting the fuck out of here before I get stabbed. So it's kind of like that
Okay.
whole chaotic crowd.
What's going on at the pie station?
Okay.
Anything
So-
of
So yeah.
am I noticing anything other? I'm glancing that way. Do I see anything of significance?
Yeah, just for the sake, I know we're good about character and in character, but let me Discord you right now, okay?
Okay.
Somebody played Mario Teaches Typing.
Good, Will? Does that make enough sense?
Yep, we're good. So Deckard. So these guards have all moved in. This dude tried to stab Alaric. See, I don't know. So Deckard is going to activate my Crimson Right. So suddenly my crossbow. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. I take that back. I'm not going to activate that. So I'm going to move. How much is each space?
5. You can go 40.
So I'm actually going to get zip past Ezek.
Well, are you going to... Okay.
Oh, what's up? Oh, yeah. I probably can't go through this area, can I?
Well, he's effectively blinded right now, but if you tell me how you're going to run and who you're going to run by, that'll help me decide what goes.
Oh, got it. Yeah, we got opportunity attacks here. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to take a step back here. If I drop my hand crossbow and draw my heavy crossbow, is that an action?
I'll call it. Tell me what else you're gonna do, but
because I think I can draw one weapon. I don't think dropping costs anything.
Dropping doesn't. Neither does drawing a weapon. It's interacting with objects. I'm just. Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Okay, so I'm going to toss my hand crossbow, which is now going to be over in this area.
Okay.
And I draw my heavy crossbow.
As long as you're not trying to spend all the time to stow one, grab another one. If you literally just toss one down and grab another one, I'll call that an interaction, and you're good to go. So you get a little movement, your interaction.
Yep. And I'm going to fire at this same dude that I shot already.
Okay.
And so, let's see.
Can't we do a little thing where it shows when somebody's been damaged? Or do we not do that? Is that
Sure.
just ailments like...
No, I can do that.
Okay.
Ailment? Oh, ailment?
Put a little
Good
red,
God.
I'll put a little red dot on people that are hurt.
Yeah.
Or that who you've attacked.
I accidentally shoot Thornton in the face.
Just a little one.
It's fine.
So, miss. And then I quickly reload an extra bolt and fire with my extra attack. 18.
Hold on a second. I'm not going to just glaze by that natural one.
Yeah, Will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah, it's natural.
That's
So then I
bad news.
reload.
That ain't missing. That's killing your friends.
Yeah, that's hitting Thornton in his fucking ribs.
I am not going to say that it hits anybody else. But what I will say is that the crossbow sort of jams a little bit, and you're going to need to spend the rest of your turn to unjam it.
Ooh, you hate to see it.
Ouch.
You hate to see it.
It's kind of a common natural one on a crossbow, and I don't know.
So Deckard actually doesn't even try and unjam it. Can I throw the crossbow at Ezek?
I like this line of thought.
Sure, yeah.
I literally
It'll be
pissed off.
It'll be like an improvised weapon kind of attack, but yeah, sure.
Or it doesn't even have to be. And I'm not trying to. Or I can just throw it on the ground. But in frustration, I throw it.
I'll let you try to chuck it at him.
This is the content I pay for.
Yes. I'm a big fan.
So, yeah. So I just roll a d20. What do I probably don't have a modifier on that.
It has a long range, a normal range of 20 feet. So you can throw an object 20 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'll let you do a normal attack.
Okay.
So
And
you
then
just
what's
make your normal dexterity-based weapon attack.
okay?
You're gonna have to Dan Marino that shit.
So it's 18,
Okay, that hits.
and that's a d4.
Yeah, it's D4. and then your crossbow will be sort of laying at his feet.
Got it. Cool. Okay, and then no modifier on this, right?
No modifier on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or wait,
Hey.
no, I'll let you throw your. No, wait. Wait, hold on.
So my dex modifier is a +5. My strength is a +3.
Did Dan lock up? Oh no, he's. Dan, you're muted.
Sorry about that. All right, so yeah, that's fine. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't seem to really damage him much, but it definitely smacks him like kind of in the shoulder as you kind of like throw your crossbow and hits him on the ground, and he's still, he's can barely stand because the mud underneath him is like shifting. He's pulling shit out of his eyes. His guards are holding on to him, and then he gets smacked by this like what feels like a brick hitting him in the shoulder, and he turns. He's like, "Fuck!" He just starts sputtering and screaming even sort of more angrily. All he keeps saying though to his guards is, "Stop them! Get the girl." You good, Deckard?
I'm good. Yep.
All right, Spargle, your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna stay right where I'm at, but I'm gonna cast a spell, and I'm gonna orient it like right in this, right around here, so that it's I'm casting slow. So what I'm doing is I'm focusing on this guy, and this guy. I can choose 3 guys in that range, and and then these 3, and so I can do up to 6 targets, and I can sculpt around people too, right? But
so you can do that in a 40-foot cube, right?
these are 5 foot, right? It's
Yeah. So you can do an 8x8 area. So let's see.
Yep.
So
40-foot cube. Yep.
Oh, who'd we lose?
Poor Punch. The Discord kicks him every 15 minutes.
Sorry. Yeah, it kicked me out again. It does about every 15 minutes.
So weird.
Yeah.
So
they have
so
to do
it's a 40,
a
so it's a
wisdom.
40-foot cube on so 40 by 40 is the way the cube works.
Right.
Okay, so you're doing. Can you draw it for me? You could draw it and then delete it, just so I know who's getting hit.
20,
Just draw your 8x8.
Like, so I'm basically trying to make it like, I don't know if that shows up, actually.
I didn't see it.
Basically like that. Yeah, it's not showing up.
Nah, you should be able to use the little draw shape thing and.
Is that showing up?
No, but I'm drawing a thing. I'm assuming you're trying to hit all these guys.
I'm like
there.
trying to go like this way, basically. Yeah, like that. Yes. Thank you.
Now I see what you got there.
Yeah, but I screwed that up. But how do you undo that then?
You can either hit Control Z, or you can highlight what you drawn and delete it.
Yeah.
Like
So
click
that's
on the
yeah.
line.
Those are the ones I'm aiming for. The 6 in
Okay.
that range that I'm selecting.
All right. Why don't you talk us through how this spell works and how your casting goes?
Okay.
And then they all make a Wisdom 16 save. Is that what they're looking for?
What's that? They have to do a 16. That's correct. Wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I cast this. You hear me utter some arcane words, and I'm like flailing, and then I go. It's like slows as my speech slows through the arcane sentence. Next thing you know, in the area, you just see everybody seem to kind of be like those 6 people seem to be kind of like impacted, like, and whether or not they make their save, I guess, will impact what. But what they do is it lowers their armor class and their dexterity saving throws. Their speed is halved. They can't use reactions. They can either use a bonus or an action, but not both. They can't take more than 1 turn, either melee or ranged, even if they have more than 1 attack.
And if they
just
succeed, it
slows
does nothing?
That's a good question. Let me see here.
I didn't know if there was like certain things that hit and certain things that didn't.
Yeah, no, I think it's a save whether or not they're even impacted, maybe.
It's an impacted or not. So it looks like there's 5 of them, and you notice that they all seem to look around and just kind of cringe a little bit as they don't know what's happening to them. They just feel this sort of weakness or sluggishness, and a couple of them seem to kind of like be moving and looking at their arms, wondering why they're not moving as fast as they should. But you do notice that the 2 that are near Alaric don't seem to respond that way.
But Izek is affected.
He is not, or you don't notice. At least you don't notice anything happen to him.
Okay.
I assume you didn't select any other targets in that area besides guards and Ezek. No
Yeah,
commoners.
that's correct. Yeah, just the.
Yep. Okay, you click that spell off.
Yeah. No, not yet. I won't. I'm sorry.
That was a level 3.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, but a couple of the other guards are starting to act really strangely now, and your teammates see this. They're all kind of like slowing down a little bit and kind of acting strange. You good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So now Ezek, who's still roaring and everything, he pulls the last bit of mud out of his eyes, and you see now you can see the white of his eyes as he's looking around and reassessing what's going on. And he looks at the one guard who's holding him steady. He's like, "Go, you fool! The girl, where'd she go?" And he points towards where Vasily had gone. But so Ezek kind of almost brushes the guard off who's trying to help him, and he's trying to walk away towards that direction, towards the west, towards where Vasily and Irina went. And he realizes that he's just not going to be able to get his footing. Instead, he turns around and seeing Ragnar behind him, who he knows kicked the dirt in his face. He takes his one arm, his weird, crazy arm, not the one that has the battle axe, and he turns around and he kind of like in one motion, he just goes like a sort of curling motion. And as this like weird hooked, clawed demon arm kind of goes like this giant bowling ball sized rock of molten fire comes flying out and comes right towards Ragnar's chest.
Oh my
Holy
god.
shit.
See you guys.
Hey, you wanted to put yourself between him and the girl.
You hate to see it.
Gotta go hang out with Blackwing.
Yeah, you hate to see. Yeah, you and Blackwood could have White Claws and fucking sip on my ties and play Yahtzee.
It was a 20, which I think hits. Correct?
Yep.
Did you say it's a 20? It hits.
Well, he's got 19 AC, so I don't know if he had anything else on his stick. And that does 10 fire damage.
Ooh, you hate to see it.
Okay, I'm gonna click that fire damage in.
Oh, hi, princess.
And then after that, he kind of looks around. Looks like he's looking for like his guards, and just seems still angry and confused. And Ragnar, it's your turn.
Okay. I just got lit up by fire. I'm gonna. I'm not the guy to go toe to toe with this dude. So I'm gonna kind of move.
How much damage did you take?
10.
Okay.
I am gonna move towards here.
Seeing you guys with your kids makes me really want to have a cat.
All right, so you move.
Yeah. Do I have
You
enough
got
to make an attack after that, or?
Good.
You do. However, Ezek and the two, as you try to move back, Ezek and the two guards take this opportunity for you kind of trying to disengage from their area. All three of them start swinging at you as you're trying to get away.
Oh, you hate to
So-
see it.
Ezek swings with his one hand on the other battle axe, but he misses completely. The guards pokes a spear at you as you're running away with two hands, and he misses completely, as well as the third one. They all just kind of
Whoa, boy.
poking at air as you're kind of like cartoon style, like.
Ragnar's
all these things
skipping-
are almost hitting you in the back.
skipping rope and like hopping around.
No, why can't it be like super athletic and evasive? Like he hops over the bench and like slides right, jumps right over the spear.
Because he didn't do anything cool to warrant that.
All right. Well, I'll just take a swing at this gentleman in front of me.
Okay.
Gentlemen.
This nice young man who's near my friend Alaric. I'm gonna just take a swing at this guy because I don't like him very much.
Now, you're using Shatter Spike one-handed with a shield?
One-handed. Yeah, one-handed. Just a nice one-handed swing.
All right, roll your attack. Oh, did you roll to hit?
Oh, no, I didn't roll to hit. Fat. I'll take that attack, though, because it's only fair.
You can re-roll the attack. You got the hit, though. That's good. Go ahead and re-roll the attack.
It's +7, though.
So that's 9?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, you're running away from this group that had kind of converged around you. You make it over to this other guard who's kind of right in front of Alaric, and you slash out at him with Shatter Spike and do a ton of damage. It looks like he's about half dead. All right. This guard here by Ezek charges after you, Ragnar. Kind of as he missed you, he continues to run up as you're attacking his friend, and he does the same thing where he kind of like throws his shield down and goes two-handed with his spear, and he misses. This guard below here comes running up towards. Oh, that's not a guard. That's a crowd. This guard comes running up towards Ezek. And kind of looks down strangely at you, Sparkle. You're kind of got your little fingers wagging and stuff like that. And as he runs up, he's still holding his shield, but he jams a spear right at you. And it's a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. And does 3 damage. Piercing. All right. At this point, if anybody's paying attention, is anybody paying attention to Vasily and Irina, who have started to move towards the west side of the square? Is anybody particularly?
Thornton has not.
When I'm near them.
Deckard, yeah. So you, Deckard, out of the corner of your eye, you got pissed at your crossbow. You whipped it at Ezek, but then you kind of out of the corner of your eye, you see Vasily. He looks over at you, as the crowd almost makes like a wall, and he gives you like this thumbs up and a wink as they just disappear and head back towards the Blue Water Inn. So they got away enough that the guards don't seem to have seen them.
Okay.
This wounded guard next to you, Alaric, attacks again, two-handed, misses. Thornton, it's your turn.
Okay, so now that I've yacked and I've fucking blown chunks, my belly's empty and I'm ready to fight, lads. So I'm surrounded by these 3 ugly brute. So I pull Talon out. I got my shield on, and I start clanking them together. And I'm like, "You want to corner the dwarf? You're gonna have to take me alive." So I like to I'm gonna take a swing at the big fuck.
At Ezek?
Yeah, at the big fucker.
With Talon?
Yeah, with Talon. I'm going
now, are you rocking your shield and doing Talon one-handed, or are you doing Talon two-handed?
Yeah, I'm doing one hand plus a shield right now.
Okay.
It should be as such in my equipment.
Yep. It was. I was just double checking. So yeah, you do attack. You get +7 on your attack.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that that wicked combo. I think it's Divine Smite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that Divine Hurt on him, bud.
Divine Smite, which is that an action? I think it takes an action.
Divine
Smite. You just click off a spell slot to use.
Because
anytime you're attacking, you can add on Divine Smite and click a spell off, and then you can.
Okay, cool. So that's part of my regular attack. All right, so I want to use Hunter's Mark as my bonus action, and then I want to use an attack.
Okay.
So
all right. So Hunter's Mark, you deal an extra 1d6.
Yeah. So I'm gonna mark Izek if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I can. I think you have to do it.
Yep. I'll do it here.
So I'll mark off a level 1 spell slot for my Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Is that like Fairy Fire? Kind of like outlining him?
It's
basically. Yeah. Well, but it's just for you though, right? It really just gives you the extra advantage.
Yeah, it's just for me. It's like literally like Hunter's Mark from WoW. I mean, what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm gonna wind up with Talon, and I'm gonna swing at the big boy.
So you get a +7 on that to hit.
19, is that a hit?
That's a hit.
All right, now
if that wasn't a hit, I was about to lose it.
If that wasn't a hit, I was about to hop on Warzone and call it a night. All right, so I'm gonna roll my base damage before I use my Divine Smite. So it's a 6. +4 is a 10. And then my Divine Smite is...
Now, if you use a higher level spell slot, you can add a d8. So it's...
That's... Yeah, I'm going to expend... Yeah, so that's... I'm going to do 2d8 extra radiant damage. And then plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than 1. Oh, so maybe I'll do a level 2.
Right.
So then it'll be, I think... So yeah, I think with my math is correct, it would be an additional 3d8 of radiant damage. Does radiant damage spread out to adjacent enemies, or is that just like holy damage?
Type. It's holy damage.
Basically. Okay, it's holy damage. So I think it's an extra 3d8 if anybody wants to fact check me on that, because it's a level 2 spell slot I'm going to expend.
Yeah, I think so. Ponch, you know Divine Smite better than I do, but let me double check this.
It's a 2d8.
Every spell slot up is another d8.
Yeah, so I think it's 3d8.
So overpowered.
And then I got to apply my hunter's mark after that. All right, so 3d8.
Yep.
So 12 plus 10 is 22, and now the hunter's mark is
D6.
Thank you, Will. Keeping track of that.
Going back to my old Vestin days.
All right, so plus 6. So what do you... According to my calculations, 10
So
plus
28?
2, 28 damage to the big fuck. Big boy.
Definitely 28. All right. So, yeah. So Thornton, who's been like, eating dream pastries and growing up, and all of a sudden it's like he kind of snaps out of it. You see Talon like glow bright white as he comes down right on Ezek's, right between his neck and his shoulder, and hits him so hard that Ezek kind of like screams. You guys see this bright flash of white that almost like spins all the commoners and peasants and everything who just see this sudden like, well, what the hell was that? And yeah, you do quite a bit of damage to Ezek, who howls in pain, and for a moment seems to be more concerned about himself and what's going on than this woman who's running away from him.
Can I spit on him? That's too much, probably.
You could. I'll let you use an interaction to do that.
All right, so I finish that, and I go.
And with that, he kind of like snarls even more, and he now is looking at you, and not towards where the woman ran off. He's got his eyes right on yours.
And my hair is all wet. There's just water and rain running down my face.
You got crumbs in your beard.
There's crumbs in my beard. I'm like Kevin Eucalyptus.
It's
just disgusting.
Yep. All right. So this guard over here, he tries to jam his spear into Alaric and misses.
This guy's scrubs.
This guy here, he steps forward and goes to stab Alaric, and he gets a 21.
That will hit.
Oh my god. I don't know what happens when
I don't know what happens when
what do I do after that? I didn't read that page.
There's a whole different book.
How many times have you said
I've never had to deal with this
he
before.
attacks Alaric and he doesn't hit? Without even asking.
9 piercing damage.
Okay, so when I take 5 or I take 4?
You round down.
Round down. All right, good to go.
Okay. All right. Juniper, your turn.
All right, so it's fight now, and Juniper is looking to add some damage. So she reaches her fingers up to the sky, and she wiggles them around a little bit, and she calls the lightning that is in the clouds.
Oh shit!
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't remember exactly where, but I think we skipped my turn.
Oh no, you go first.
I think. Right?
Uh-oh.
Because if I look at the turn order, I'm not there, and Matt went a little bit ago, and I thought I was around him.
You are right before Matt. Oh, no. You are right after Matt. I don't know why you disappeared. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Hold on a second. So let me put you right after Matt, but let you take your turn. Sorry, Juna. Sorry, Amber. Why don't you go, Adam? I did totally miss your turn.
Okay. Well, the one below me, the one south of me, was the one that I hit my last turn. So I'm just going to continue to attack him. Just swipe.
Yeah, he looks pretty beat up. The guy behind you's a little beat up too, but the guy right to the south of you is the guy you really hurt.
Yeah, I'm looking to just seal the deal here. And I am.
He's good to go.
I'm just going to take a regular attack here.
With
my spear.
Keep him with the spear. Okay.
Yep. I'm not doing any of my other things, because I'm going to save that for my bonus. So 17 to hit.
It hits him. He's got this one is holding a shield, and he's got a spear, but your spear just kind of like knocks his shield out of the way and pierces right through his chainmail armor.
13 damage.
As you see his eyes just like go up to the sky and just pull back into his head as his body goes lifeless, and you can let it like it is like hanging onto your spear, just this dead weight. You can just flick him off of it or whatever you want to do.
Okay. So that was my action. Now I have Frenzy, which allows me to take an extra attack as my bonus action. But then I have Great Weapon Master, where if I kill something, you can... Oh no, that's as a bonus action. Okay, so that just overlaps, so that doesn't work. Should always.
I don't remember what that does.
Yeah, you can use Frenzy or your Great Weapon Master attack.
Doesn't... Okay. Yeah, I'll just use my Great Weapon Master feature then. And I'm gonna hit the dude to the right. The one that's already been damaged.
Yep.
And I am going to this shit drives me nuts. How it's not on the same page. I'm gonna use my reckless attack. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I need first attack. I can't use my reckless attack. I'm gonna do my I'm going to use my other part of my Great Weapon Master feature. So I'm gonna take a hit to my hit roll, but I'm gonna get a bonus to my damage roll if that were to happen.
Dan, really quick, I just put up my aura of protection around my person.
Oh, good call. That's always on as long as you concentrate.
Always on. Yep.
What are those little squares that keep showing up on the thing? Little blue. Anyone else see those?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, somebody, whoever's the blue person is creating.
That's me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I've been doing it for a half hour, not knowing it.
It's funny. I drew a big cock on the screen. Nobody said a word. You drew a few boxes. Fucking blows everybody's mind.
That's because we knew you did, and we're used to it.
Yeah, we didn't have to ask about that.
Okay, so I take a -5 penalty.
Hmm?
And I'm getting a +11, so I'm rolling a +6. It's so dumb how this isn't all on the same page. 22 to hit.
Still hits.
So 1d8 +8, and then I get +10. So I'm gonna factor that all.
Wait, what's your pluses?
So I'm getting 1d8 +8 for my attack, and then because of the Great Weapon Master feat, I get +10 damage on top of that.
Yeah, you don't need to roll.
I'm still gonna roll.
Okay. You can still roll.
24 damage.
24 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would like to decapitate him.
it's hard to decapitate somebody with a spear.
Have you seen me use the spear?
I know, but that's close. You do manage to jam it right through his throat, though, which causes blood to shoot so far backwards that the guard behind him gets splattered in the face, like Kill Bill style.
Oh, he's got to run away after that.
As this guard drops to the ground. Now, you also gain 2d6 temporary hit points.
So I just need to...
So you roll 2d6.
Wait a minute. So should I have done that twice since I just killed 2 dudes?
No, it overrides. It's not additive.
Okay, got it.
So each time, each time you'll have to re-roll it, and it could be a bad roll, right? If you get a 2 versus a 12, it'll change your temporary hit points.
Oh, so I actually am going to roll it twice. I just wanted to read.
And we need to make sure we have your No, I think we do. Okay.
We make sure what?
So you were chosen by the Blood Spear, which I don't know if it reflects it in the stats, but you get an extra +2 to attack and damage roll. We'll have to make sure that's added in with how it's on your sheet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've just been going off what it says here right on the sheet.
Okay. Should be good.
God damn it! Where is? I just read the. It's 2d6. It's just 2d6. No modifier.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
I
Yep.
don't understand
Then
why I can't just find it. I was just looking at it. And that's considered temporary hit points, right?
Right. So you can go on your sheet and add those to temporary hit points. So
just
for
did it.
Ragnar and anybody that's around you, as you kill this guard, and this blood shoots out the back of his neck, you also see this almost like blood-like energy spiral come down the spear that you're holding. It almost seems to like suck the life force out of this guard as you kill him, and comes and like emanates through your body and invigorates you with more.
Oh, that's
Vampiric
good.
Weapon.
Oh, that's good. That's gonna be good. That's gonna
right.
that's gonna play out well for everyone.
This is
All
not
right.
good.
I am one
Now
with
it's
Barovia.
now it's
You heard
now it's angry.
Alaric say that like a robot. I am one with
Oh
Barovia.
my god.
He is the
Which
land.
is completely not his character at all. So
Okay, so Juniper is casting Call Lightning, and I'm probably gonna need like kind of help figuring out whether or not I'm doing this right. But basically, Ezek has to make a Dex save, and if he fails it, he takes 3d10 lightning damage plus 2 extra d10. One because it is outdoor during stormy conditions, and the second is because I'm casting it at the 4th level or higher. So that would be 5 d10 damage.
You love to see it. You really
Oh,
you love
plus
to see this.
3 with my spellcasting modifier, I think. Right?
okay,
Is that how that works?
but you're gonna have to pinpoint for me. So
Yeah.
it's 5 foot in radius. So it's actually going to create almost like a 3x3 square, a circle within that 3x3 square. So it's 5 radius. So it's 5 left, right, and back. Which means if you center it on Ezek, you're going to hit. You could also hit the 2 guards, but you'd also hit Thoradin.
It's okay.
I want to center it like directly to Ezek's top right. So it kind of might graze the guards, but it won't hit Thoradin or myself.
No. Let it hit me. It's fine. I'm a tank.
I feel like you might be wearing metal, and maybe that's a bad idea.
I'm a big, greasy Italian tank. Just let it hit me.
So here's how I'm going to do this, just to be consistent. Is I'll use the measurement tool. So if you were, I don't know if you can see this right now.
Yeah.
If you center it on Ezek, it'll hit all these squares that say 5 feet. If you center it here, isn't working. Oh, you'll hit all these squares. You could center it right behind Ezek and hit him and the other guard.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. All right, and they need to make a Dex 14 save.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Each creature on a.
Then I'm going to roll, I think it's, let me double check. I think it's 5d10 plus 3.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So Dex 14. This is Ezek.
What spell is this?
Call Lightning.
Oh, is that a burrito? What are you eating?
Ezek passes. He saves. The guard does not.
Okay.
So you roll 3d10, and then Ezek takes half, and the guard takes full.
Okay, so do I not get the
No,
one
you do.
extra one?
4d10. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
you're doing it at 4th level.
At 4th level, and there's stormy conditions, so it should actually be 5. And then I think I have a plus 3 spellcasting modifier. Does that work on that?
Hold on.
Not for damage, just to hit.
No, right.
Oh, okay.
You do 5d10 though, and the guard will take full, and Ezek will take half. Yeah, it's massive. That's huge.
And Isaac's got a metal plate in his head, so shouldn't that be a 60-10?
52.
Jesus.
Oh, you
Right.
hate to see it.
So that's 26 to Ezek, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to remember this when I take a turn and I'm like, oh, I did like 14 damage.
All right, so so this lightning comes down right behind Ezek. It makes him jump. The guard doesn't even get a chance to jump. He is literally just melted. Like just you guys see Thornton, you smell like burnt hair. You see this guard's eyes just literally fucking explode and just like smoke come out of his eyes. It looks like he was like microwaved from the inside out.
Am I phased by this at all? Am I phased
Oh,
by
you're
it?
not. You're probably like, what is that? I wonder what that tastes like.
You're like, oh, one more
Guard
thing.
just drops to the ground. Ezek, though, he gets this crack of lightning in his back as this like his whole like back arches, and you see all his muscles like tighten up, almost like someone's being like, electric chair kind of, and he just he like grits his teeth and he shouts some more, and he's getting angrier and angrier, but that hurt him.
He's recklessly raging right now.
He's recklessly
unbelievably.
Anything else, Juniper?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, you killed everybody on the field.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I hope that's good. Let's see. Hold on, I'm cleaning up my notes here real quick.
There you go. That's what this is what Thorian sees in chat.
Is that from Home Alone?
It's from Home Alone. When Harry electrocutes himself and he's like,
That is it. That's it right there. That is. All right. So yeah, you're good. You've melted a bunch of people. This guard is gone. This guard is gone. Deckard, it's your turn.
What does it taste like?
Step back. You don't have your crossbow anymore. Juniper's been making like lightning come flying out of the sky, melting guards. Alaric is in the backfield, just de-throating.
Yeah, doing the Xena Warrior Princess thing in the corner back there.
Right.
Yeah.
With the spear.
Did my crossbow survive that lightning bolt?
Yeah, it's laying there on the ground.
Let's see here. So Ezek, he's just kind of raging in the middle of the square here.
Yeah, I mean he's been hit a lot, but he looks mad.
Okay. Check Discord.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh man.
I updated the map a little bit to represent what I just explained.
Oh man. Sorry, I'm just. How many guards do we have here? How's Ezek looking?
You've killed 3. Ezek looks really pissed. He's scorched. He's stabbed. He's a big dude, and he looks like he could take it for a little bit.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, it is. What it is.
So, Deckard. So how can I move? Like can I go diagonal? Like how do you count the square? So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 20. 5.
You got to go 1 extra if you're moving through a square that has like people just kind of like that aren't your friends, because you're like gotta get them out of the way and dip through.
Okay, so I was right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can't walk through these people.
You can, but you got to add like 1 extra walk to get through the difficult terrain.
Oh, got it. Okay, so I'm gonna move right here.
Okay.
And no, I'm gonna go right here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Never mind. I gotta go. Wait, how many do I have?
You can go diagonally, right?
I can go there. I can go there.
You have 40.
I've got 40.
So you can go 8.
Right. Actually, is this a spot? Can I be here?
Yeah. Yeah, those are small little
1, 2,
bushes
2.
and like.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right here. And I'm gonna draw my longbow. First time y'all have ever seen me rock that. And I am going to fire at Ezek.
Fire, tires, liar. There
21.
it is. Is that a hit?
That's a hit.
And so it's 1d8 plus 5.
Oh,
So,
here we go. Here we go.
12 damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I am going to just quickly draw another arrow, fire again. Oof.
It's also a hit.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed.
Beer lamb beer.
So, well, 6 damage.
All right, so total is 22 damage.
Right.
All right. Ezek continues to get madder and madder and scream to his guards, whether they're alive or dead. And now he's got like 2 more longbow arrows sticking out of the front of him, which buried pretty deep. He looks pretty messed up. He looks like like halfway dead at this point. You good?
Yeah. So at this point, I'm like right next to this little girl, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they're facing away from me?
Yep, they're walking away. The woman is pushing an empty cart now, which has no more dream pastries or meat pies in it. And the little girl looks like she's about 8, maybe, is holding her hand and just kind of walking along with her.
Just nonchalant walking with her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, I'm going to stay right here.
All right. Spargle, your turn.
So are there still a lot of people in this area here, like around us, like these folks these
Yeah,
folks?
there are. It's a strange mix of people running, just running, and some people really enamored and watching, and some people that just seem to be waiting. Almost like they expected this and are just waiting.
Okay. I know there's a guy sticking a spear in me, but I still see Izek as a bigger threat. So I'm going to. You see me do one of my familiar things with, I'm about to emit some flame here. And I'm going to do a third level chromatic orb. There's too many people around for me to do a lot of my big stuff. I'm gonna do a third level chromatic orb at Izek.
Okay.
Let me check it off here. Hold on.
Of what type?
I'm going to do ice, not my normal thing. Ugh. That blows.
That's with your modifier?
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just you form the orb. It's like icy little bocce ball kind of forms with all this like crackling energy around it, and you throw it up, and it just goes right over his head, and it just continues with this like strange momentum, and just kind of goes off into the out of your line of sight.
All right. Crap. I think that's it. I think I'm just gonna stay put. I don't want to invoke an attack.
All right. At this, Izek is looking around. He's burnt. He's got holes in him. He's got his hair's standing up from the electricity. And he's angry, and so he grabs. He takes his gnarly hand, and he brings his battle axe around, and he holds it in two hands, and he brings it down on Thoradin. A 22 to hits.
A 22 to hits. I like that.
So that is 14 damage.
Yeah, I pissed 14 damage.
You should see a doctor about that.
And then, with uncanny speed, he brings it around again and swings it straight back at the exact same spot. 23 to hit.
All right, Mr. Strazzini.
13 more damage.
All right, well, that's that's a bit.
It's slashing damage. I don't know if that makes a difference for you.
I'll check. I'm not sure. That's a good question, though.
All right. And he looks around at the guard that's right in front of him as he's swinging at Thoradin twice. The guard that's right in front of him, he says, "Get the little one over there," and he's pointing at Sparkle. All right, Ragnar, it's your turn. You and Alaric got a couple of these guards pinned between you. Ezek's back behind you, getting messed up.
So, the guard in front of me behind Alaric, he's damaged a little bit?
Nope.
What about the one next to the dead one?
Nope.
They're full health. And then the one behind me, is he full health?
Yep. They're all
Okay.
fine. You guys have killed the
Everybody's-
one. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're all full health. Okay. All right. So I'm going to then take a swing at the guy to the west of me.
This guy?
Yep.
Okay, go for it. Using Shatter Spike. Shatter Spike one-handed, right?
That's,
Their modifier?
Yeah, that's +8 on that.
+8, that's a
Oh,
hit.
there
Easy
you
hit.
go.
And I got to do the.
So it's a D8 +7.
Oh, there you go. 15, baby.
Oh. Off the wrong guy.
Is that Gandalf
Yeah.
over there?
So you hit him, you spin around, you hit him, and he like stutters for a second, like he's holding his balance, and you think maybe for a second he'll be all right, and then the blood just keeps coming out. He just can't hold it in. You see him just go dark as he crumples to the ground.
Go dark.
Wow. The lights
Nice.
go out. And I look at him and I just say, nighty night.
What a sick fuck.
And I just kind of like, as he's going down and like holding his balance a little bit, I just kind of like kick him down a little bit.
Gently, like shove him. Can you do anything else? You have
Come on,
another
breathe.
attack?
Come on. Can I take another attack to the guy behind the lark? With the bonus action, perhaps?
Wait, whenever you take an attack, you get a second attack. That's
Mhm.
part
Oh,
of
yeah,
that's
duh.
part of being. Yeah, you get 2 attacks per turn every time you take a normal attack. So yeah.
Oh, all
you
right.
need to be
So we'll
doing
do that. We'll just attack this guy behind the lark.
All right. Unfortunately, that's just a whiff. You
That's
just
a whiff.
kind of you take the one down with Shatter Spike, you pull it back out, and you turn around, and it's just too far away.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
All right,
We got
now you're
something
good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Was effective. All right, so the guard that's in front of Spargle that Ezek was commanding, he takes his spear. He's still holding his shield. He's really uncertain on what's going on. He takes his spear and he stabs it towards Spargle and misses. Thoradin, it's your turn.
I'm going to. Snarf, snarf. So, Thoradin got hit. He got hit pretty hard. Got hit pretty good. So even though he was flying high and feeling good and in combat, for getting that adrenaline rush, Izek hit him pretty hard. Knocked him down a peg. So, Thoradin takes a deep breath, gets some of the rain off his face, calms down a little bit, and he decides to channel a lay on hands spell, which isn't really a spell; they consider it an action. But so Thoradin reaches up to the sky, and if I'm RPing this wrong, you could just tell me. He reaches up to the sky, which is dark. It's clouds, very gray. But you see this beam of light come from my hand and pierce through the clouds as a golden light just surrounds my body. And I use lay on hands for 20 points of healing.
Awesome. All right.
And that's
Which that heals you up almost full, right? Or full?
pretty darn close to it.
Okay.
I like to be a little bit of a miser with my lay on hands pool. But I think that's pretty much everything I can do. Or
Yeah, keep a couple in the tank, right, bud?
you always got to keep a couple in the tank because you never know,
Goes down.
right?
Okay.
Yeah,
you
that's
do that.
really.
You feel better. Juniper and Spargle see all this happen too. Ragnar, you kind of caught a little bit of it. Right after you do that, you hear a screaming from the east. And if anyone looks over, they see the Baron and his 2 dogs have walked out back onto the stage. and the Baron is spitting, screaming, "Izek, what are you doing? What is this commotion? What is happening?" A couple of the guards look up at the Baron, look back at Ezek. Ezek looks up, just snarls, and seems to ignore the Baron. Okay, Alaric, it's your turn.
Dan, I'm really sorry. As a bonus action, can I use my Shield of Faith? I just saw that that's a bonus action.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I should have asked.
No, that's okay. I wasn't sure myself.
Hey, Thornton, what does your aura do again?
+2 to saving throws for everybody in it.
Yeah, you can use that.
Okay, so I'm just going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, so you have your +2 AC now?
Yeah, I'll see if I could write that somewhere.
Are you guys good to go till like 11:30 or so?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Take a 2-minute break real quick.
Yeah,
Sure.
that sounds good.
All right, then Adam, it'll be your turn.
Okay.
To AC, I wrote on my thing. Oh, everybody's AFK. He's talking to pillows. Sup, lad? Wash your back. I might as well go eat something. Wash your back.
I don't know. Are we gonna survive this?
All right, sorry, I'm back. I'll keep
I
rolling.
was thinking we might be okay, but I don't know now that the Baron and his dogs are out. If
I'm not a fan of wheat whiskey.
Me neither.
It's too sweet.
yeah,
My father-in-law comes to town. Gosh, we're streaming, aren't we? He's not gonna watch this.
I'm sure he's not watching.
But he comes and he always buys like rye whiskey or wheat whiskey and then drinks all my bourbon. And I'm like, so he replaces my bourbon with the stuff I don't want.
Dude,
I don't like
Punch,
rye
sounds like-
whiskey either. I'm not a big fan of the rye. It's okay, but it's
Yeah.
not my favorite.
That's Punch. That's Greer when we used to play poker. He'd show up with
Oh
his
my God.
six-pack of Miller Lite and then just start grabbing Great Lakes beer and stuff out of the fridge. I'd be like, dude, why don't you fucking bring the beer you're going to drink? Don't.
Right.
Yeah. And then he'd bitch about when you ran out of the good stuff too.
Right. All right, Alaric, it's your turn. You got 2 guards standing in front of you, all this shit going on, and then you just heard the Baron come out and start screaming.
Kick his ass, bass.
So, I think Alaric's just going to continue to cut through guards and kind of make his way. He's attempting to make his way to Ezek. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the one that's like slightly southwest of him. That's who I'm going to attack. Again, still just, I mean, this has all been happening in one motion for him, just swinging and missing, and then just slashing and killing all these guards. So he's not going to miss a beat and just keep slashing. There is a thing, I don't mean to meta and hold things up, but I think I, or we, or whatever fucked up, because we'll have to talk about this, Dan, but my great weapon master thing, where I take the hit penalty, but I get bonus damage, that's only with a heavy weapon. And I don't think a spear is considered a heavy weapon.
No. Yeah, you're right.
No, Mama.
So
Not
The
big deal.
siege continues.
So I
don't think it wouldn't have changed anything that happened with the guards. They were weak.
Yeah, no, I know, but we'll have to talk about that because in the future that may be like a factor of why I would use a sword over the spear. But anyways,
Yeah. You're right.
I'm gonna attack the one diagonally down from me. I am going to attack recklessly, so I'll get advantage on it.
Yeah, you got to get your way over to Izek here. I mean, that's why I showed up tonight for the headline fight.
I'm trying.
You know the headline fight's always the last 10 minutes.
That's true.
You got to steal the
That's
scrub
true.
first.
I did.
You got to
true.
see
We're just
Logan
like-
Paul.
Yeah, you're right. We're like just warming up.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, I already said I was attacking recklessly, but I rolled a natural 20. So
Wow.
This is the content I pay to see.
So what am I doing for this?
I don't even know if you have to roll, but let's just see what it turns out to be.
Okay, so I roll my damage and then I get my base damage or something. Is that how we do it, or I roll twice, or what?
You roll your base damage without modifiers again, and you add that in for the crit.
Okay, so I'm getting the +2, so I'm 1d8 plus 10. And then you said, wait, what'd you say? I'm rolling my damage and then what?
Yeah, so you get your 1d8 plus 10,
Right,
and then you get another 1d8
without a modifier.
without a modifier.
Oh wow, went in big on that. Dumb. So 18 damage.
All right. Yep. So you grab this spear and you just thrust it through another one of these guards. They seem like they're popping like water balloons for you.
You love to see it. Do I get the 2d6 again? That's per turn, right? Or is that per round?
I'm sorry. What?
When I kill something?
Yeah, you can it's your choice. If you re-roll it, it overrides your temporary hit points. It doesn't add to it.
overrides it. Oh, okay. Does that say that?
No, it doesn't say that.
Okay, no, it's fine. I got it now.
But
so
that's how it
2d6,
works.
so I could get 12, so I rolled 6. Yeah, I'll re-roll it. So 10. So I gained 4 hit points. So that was just my attack. So I'm gonna use my bonus action to attack the dude, to the guard to the left of me.
Sweet.
Uh, 22 to hit.
That's a hit too.
It's too bad you don't have a good modifier.
12 damage.
12
Imagine
damage.
if I could actually roll damage on my damage.
Mhm.
Yeah. You want me to pause it? Yeah. You can come in. What are you?
All right. So yeah, you hit him. It doesn't quite kill him, but definitely he seems pretty hurt. In fact, it's that guy that gets to act next. And he, out of almost desperation, grabs his spear and strikes you with it for I think this is a hit. 21.
Yep.
Piercing damage. 8 piercing damage. Which I think you have. Do anything else? Okay. Yep. And then Juniper, it's your turn.
All right. Well, Juniper saw that she roasted Ezek pretty well, and it encouraged her, and she's feeling like lightning is really the way to go on this one. So she's going to do it again. Only this time she's going to strike slightly like north, so that hopefully she hits both Ezek and crony number 1 next to him. There we go.
Yep. I see this right here. Kind of centering it there so you hit these two guys. Okay.
Yep.
And they get Dex 14 saves.
Yep.
Ezek failed this time.
Uh-oh.
And the guard failed as well.
75.
Oh shit.
Jesus fuck. Who let her in the campaign?
I
That's
honestly
my-
have never used this before, but
That's
I
my
like
wife.
it so much. Everything gets roasted. Be
You should
nice to
see what she-
trees.
You should see what she does to a turkey.
Yeah, I don't do well with turkey.
All right, and you added your stormy conditions.
I did. That's
All
why I
that,
got 5
yeah.
instead of 3.
All right, so it was 75 to Ezek,
Yep.
and I think the guard's gonna die.
I have a strong suspicion that he might.
That's super good at
I
math.
hope he kissed his wife goodbye this morning.
Oh wow! What if he's not heterosexual?
I hope he kissed his husband goodbye then.
Oh my god, what spell is this that you're using?
Call lightning. I'm kind
And
of.
it's in the middle of a storm too. so
Yeah,
you get an
that's-
extra D10.
Will
The last
is
time he used it was in
fucking-
the middle of a storm too. I've kind of been,
Will is
like,
rolling a
I'm
druid as we
re-rolling
speak.
Druid.
Yeah, Will has a druid already to go.
Suddenly, a cloud of smoke forms around Joker.
And Roland appears with a lightning storm.
With lightning.
And he's
everywhere.
in bear form. Yeah.
He looks like Thor.
He's a werebear.
I'm a bard bear.
So say honestly, like the old movie like Poltergeist where everybody was just exploding in their face, or the Indiana Jones when they open the ark and everybody's face is melting. That guard does the same thing as the last guard. Eyes exploding, smoke, everything just crumbles to the ground. Ezek too, though, this time, like he got hit in the back before and it kind of arced through his body. This time, Thornton, Juniper, Spargle, you see the bolt of lightning that comes from the storm clouds above come through Ezek. Like, you
Hang on,
see
real
it.
quick. Hang on, Dan. I'm just saying, it looks like she rolled 5d20.
Oh shit!
So that's why I was freaking out. I'm like, that's
No,
the
she
greatest
did
spell
D10.
ever.
Give it a second.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
Oh wow!
Oh my
We got a mixed deal here.
Oh shit.
Trying to pull a fast one, huh?
19.
Wow.
It's like
Wow.
the 70. It's honestly 75 and 19 are like the same.
That's kind of they are. I mean, he's got a point.
Sorry, I didn't mean. That's why I was freaking out. I'm like, I want
Oh.
that spell.
The guard's
Oh my
dead,
God.
but Ezek's fine.
Is he looking a little bit more lively? Does he maybe have a chance to go home and say goodbye now? Or
That's not my wife.
Oh no, the guard is still definitely roasted. Ezek, though, I mean, he looks bad. I mean, it's the same thing. So what happens is the bolt of lightning before that kind of hit him and like kind of made him seize up a little bit. This one goes clear through. You see it like make a clean connection through his back, and then you see the bolt kind of come through his front, hit the ground, and just a burst of sparks and everything as he kind of reels back and he screams. He, at this point, has completely, if you're paying attention to him, has lost focus about where Irina went or whatever. He's now seems to be focused on survival, his personal survival. Doesn't seem to care about the guards or anything else. Are you done, Juniper, or do you have more D20s to roll?
Oh, well, I mean, if I can roll more D20s, I'll roll more D20s. But I think I'm good for now.
Embarrassed me in front of my friends. It's not good.
No, it's my fault. I didn't catch it as a DM. I'm like, oh, well, 50 damage.
I figured if I hit the same button as last time, then it would do the same thing.
No, that was my bad. But Deckard, your turn. You see another guard get melted. There seems to be only one guard who's hanging out over by Alaric, and then Ezek, who's surrounded by your friends.
Okay. So and then these two people are down here are
just nonchalantly
walking off.
away.
So they're still within my eye line, right?
Yeah, they're only 20 feet away.
Okay. So I have my longbow out, and I am actually, so the Baron is standing out here on the stage, huh?
Yep. He's screaming at Ezek. Like, he's like, calm down. Everyone calm down. Ezek, what is going on? And Ezek's ignoring him. He certainly doesn't seem to be coming down off the stage, and he's got his two big-ass bull mastiffs on both sides of him just kind of sitting there.
How did we describe the Baron again? Was he a rather fat, weak fellow?
Yeah, he wore armor, and he had some fancy, expensive-looking rapier. He's like a middle-aged, out-of-shape guy. He's like Robert Baratheon in season 1.
Okay.
But a little more whiny.
You know what? There's a hole with a fat ass.
Yeah.
Get me the breast.
Deckard sees the Baron step out on stage. And suddenly Deckard's crossbow just goes up in flames.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's it.
And Deckard, you see him wince in pain. I forget how to reduce. Here we go. Max. How do you reduce your max hit points? 59. I do. Yeah. Okay. So you see Deckard take some pain, and suddenly this crossbow is just on fire. And he lines up a shot. Sniper shot on the Baron.
Oh my.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
This is like real Shadow of Mordor shit.
We're throwing in with Lady Wachter.
That's it.
Better or worse.
So
And you scream.
it's like my fingers on the button. I'm deciding whether this is the shot I take. Take my finger off the button.
You're that sniper. You got your target in your sights, and you're just holding your breath and
I'm like,
pull the trigger. Now.
Do I do it? Do I not do it?
Oh,
like
no guts, no glory. Come on.
So he lets it go.
Yes. Yes.
18 to hit.
Oh, this is the content.
All right, go ahead and let me hold on 1 second. Didn't anticipate this eventuality.
Yeah, that's always what you want to hear.
I love it. All right, yeah, go ahead and roll damage. That's a hit.
Okay. So 11 damage plus. What was my Crimson Right die? Hang on.
When you see Dan start to swivel around looking for materials that he didn't anticipate on having, it's not good.
He's in research mode.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, he takes an additional 1 fire damage. So 12 damage.
I didn't prepare for this.
and then instantly he draws another arrow.
Okay, wait. So how much damage you do so far?
12 damage.
12.
Yeah. Okay. So your first hit
Look at
kills the Baron. so hold on. I'm calculating. Reconfiguring this here.
We broke the game.
Okay, so
Nathaniel
the
Swift,
Baron.
now Baron von Velocevich.
Oh shit.
Okay, so your flaming crossbow bolt goes flying across the battlefield.
It's a longbow bolt. This is a big arrow.
Wait a minute. Did we
It's
do
a
the
longbow.
distance on this? Did you do the distance on it? to
Yeah,
make sure
so
you were-
it's advan. You roll regular at 150 feet, and it's disadvantage from 150 to 600.
Holy shit! You're like red badge of courage over here.
I thought when
Like
Dan
across
was
the
laughing, it was
Russian
because
battlefield.
Will shouldn't have attacked him.
Holy shit! Okay, so the Baron's like, he's like, what are you doing? And then just whoop, right through his eye hole. This longbow bolt, it's sticking out the front and back of his head.
It's on fire too.
And so he falls to the ground. You guys see a little bit of flame come up from the Baron's forehead as the rain just puts out the flame, and these two dogs kind of start circling around and whimpering and just laying around the Baron, not understanding what happened to him.
So full on.
Is there anything else you?
Right?
Is there anything else you're doing at this turn?
Well, yeah. If I see him drop.
Yeah, he drops.
So Deckard, Deckard just this bow goes up in flame. He lines up a shot, lets it fly, wrecks the Baron. He takes and it's all swift. He takes 2 swift side steps down, then lines the longbow up again at Ezek.
Okay.
19.
19's a hit.
And that's 10 damage plus another 1. So 11 damage.
11 damage. If you rolled all d20s, he'd be dead by now.
Oh. Too soon.
Oh,
yeah.
hurtful.
No, but so with Legolas speed, Deckard's zipping around, and this one bolt just threads through the battlefield up towards this stage where the Baron's waving his hands, takes him out. His head's flaming. The rain goes down, and then he kind of spins around with uncanny speed, pulls out another arrow, and fires it 45 degrees the other direction. Threads it through more crowd, and it hits Ezek, who is now completely confused as to everything that's going on, and he's just kind of flailing around at this point, and looks really hurt. As soon as the Baron drops, you guys all suddenly hear a voice from the top of one of the buildings over here. And as you look over to the side, you see
Where's it
Lady
coming from?
Walk.
I don't see it.
Southeast.
Why? Oh, you know what? That's because I'm on the wrong layer. Oh, that's why that
Okay,
works.
I see it now.
I'm pinging it now.
Yep.
So from the top of this building across from the barracks, you hear and see Ernst, Lady Wachter's agent, who kind of looks up. And as soon as the Baron drops, he starts screaming. He says, Ezek, he says, enough of this lie. Your master is dead. You have no power against Strahd. My lady received a prophecy that heroes would come and save us from your tyranny and the Dark Prince's hands. Our heroes have come, and with them hope. Ezek looks up. You guys all look up. You see Ernst up there. And you notice for a moment the crowd seems to kind of spin around in their awareness and what's going on. Some of them seem really confused and shocked that the Baron is dead. However, those of you that are being a little more observant, let me just say, passive perception. So Alaric, Juniper, Thoradin, Ragnar. You kind of suddenly realize that many people in the crowd, not many, a quarter of the crowd, who seemed a little bit less engaged in the fair, in the festival and whatever, almost seemed to have been waiting for this moment. You see some of what looked like commoners to you kind of pull back cloaks and stuff, and these daggers come out as a number of them start dipping through the crowd. One group of them comes up to you, Alaric and Ragnar, okay? And it looks like commoners, but they come running up, and they have these little silver daggers, and they all start stabbing the shit out of the guard right in front of you, and they kill him.
Oh, shit.
I'm talking like they're just like little. They're adults. They're adolescents. They're elderly. They're just a bunch of people that were standing around a minute ago,
terrifying flash mob.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
and they just run up and they just stab the shit out of that guy, and he dies. And then
are they saying anything, or are they just killing?
They are not saying anything.
They're not like death to Strahd.
No, it's almost like they were
I
waiting
like
for a
that.
cue.
Okay.
You see two crowds of these types of people climbing up the balcony towards the barracks.
Oh, God.
And then you see a reluctant two more crowds kind of come around Thoradin and Juniper, where Ezek is now still standing, but now surrounded by a bunch of people. All right, Decker, that was your turn. It's Sparkle's turn now.
What does Ezek seem to be doing in response to that?
He looks like he's 100% in survival mode. Maybe he's looking to escape, or just he thinks he's powerful enough to kill everybody. You don't know. He's just kind of in the middle. He seems to be only caring about himself at this point. He's not ordering guards. He doesn't care that the Baron died. He doesn't care where the woman went, Irina. He's just like, there's this dwarf in front of me. There's this short little wizard in front of me. I'm going to kill him.
So he's still he's in the fight though. He's not looking to like.
He's surrounded. It looks like to you, like he's just like in the middle, really bruised and beat up, and he's just standing there, just kind of still got his axe, still got his flames licking from his goofy, deformed demon arm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna I yell at him. I'm like, throw your weapons down, Ezek, and yield. And I'm going to hold an action for a level 3. Wait, do I have level 3 left? Yeah, level 3 spell. I'm just gonna say an orb, but to see if he does what I yell, what I command.
Okay, so if he does not back down, you're going to use your reaction to cast Chromatic Orb at him.
Yeah, I say last chance. Yield now. Throw down your weapons.
Okay. All right. And then that's the end of your turn?
Yeah.
But you got that ready.
I'm holding the spell action.
Yep. Okay. He looks over at you, and he scowls and flings his arm at you, and another ball of fire comes flying towards you.
Okay.
So
You have chosen death.
I'm going to do that and then let you do yours. I don't know how that works, to be honest with you. What was your initiative? Do you remember what your initiative was at the beginning?
It was pretty high. It was like 20
20.
something.
Oh, yours was 21 and his was 21. What's your dexterity?
I guess 14.
Okay. All right, he goes first. So this is like these are happening almost simultaneously. Like you say that, and he looks at you like "fuck you," and just throws his arm at you, and this firebolt comes out, and you at the same time unleash your chromatic orb. They're almost passing each other midair.
Okay.
His is just going to hit you first. 18 to hit.
I'm going to cast, as a reaction, I'm going to cast Shield. And use 2 charges on my staff.
Okay. Yep. That's cool. You didn't use your reaction, right?
Not
No.
yet.
No. So your hold action will use your reaction. So you have to pick one or the other. That's how a hold action works. It either consumes your reaction till the next turn. So you'll have to pick. You only get one reaction. I'm pretty sure how that works. That's how that works. You understand me?
Yeah, I suppose. So what does that mean then? If I use a shield action, then
then your held action would not happen.
So I wouldn't be able to cast.
Right. You have to decide. Do you want to use your reaction to cast shield or your reaction for your held action?
Well, fuck.
I'm pretty certain that's how that works.
Just out of curiosity, the time when he hit somebody else, who did he hit with his little fireball thing?
Me.
I know you can't say how much damage, like point wise. Did it seem to really screw him up? From an observation.
No, it no. 20% of his health, maybe.
All right, well, fuck him. I'm gonna shoot.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
That line of the
Somebody
night.
save me if I die, okay?
That's the name of the session. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Fuck
that
him and
guy.
fuck him and fuck him.
Picture Will
All
just
right.
shooting the Baron in the face.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
You better hit, you some bitch, motherfucker.
Oh, that was off by 1 too.
That's the second time I rolled the same thing.
Yeah,
rolled a 5 last time.
he only has studded leather armor. So.
Some bitch.
All right, so then you can't use your reaction to block.
Yeah.
And he does hit. And so that was
I whiffed twice. I'm going to my.
11. It's 11 fire damage.
That's terrible.
You could
Son of a
survive.
bitch.
All right, Ragnar, it's your turn. All the guards are dead. The Baron's dead. His dogs are sad.
Did Ezek get a turn?
That was Ezek's turn. Yeah, he was
he
Ezek
did
was
the
throwing
fire,
it.
okay.
He threw the fire at the same time that Spargle was throwing a chromatic orb at him.
All right, I'll dance. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. All right, I can move right over here, and I'm gonna.
Right as
just-
I was throwing an orb at a bush or something else.
Yeah, I see the orb fly by, and I just shake my head at Spargle. And I'm like, "Ah, you missed, lad." And then I'm gonna just look at Ezek, and I'm gonna just be like, "You should have yielded." And I'm gonna take a swing at him.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
No.
Oh,
You hate to say it.
Going in hard.
That's a miss. Yep.
Whiff.
You missed, but you get a second attack. You get
I'm
to
gonna-
anytime
I'm
you
gonna try
attack.
again. Gonna
Choke
try
up a little
again.
bit. Choke up a little bit. There you go.
That time's a hit.
Oh yeah.
You have a modifier on that, though, right? Oh.
Oh, Christ. That's +7, so it's 8 damage.
That's 8 damage.
All
right.
Am I allowed to use a bonus action?
Yeah.
So can I just use that for another attack?
Oh.
Actually,
No,
yeah, I don't have anything else.
I think
Yeah, I don't
that
have that stuff probably.
you don't have any other bonus actions you can use.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
I don't have
Unless you
anything
wanna do
cool.
You can do second wind to get some hit points back if you want.
No, I'll save that.
Okay.
That's
All
what
right,
I'm
Thoradin,
going
it's your
for.
your turn.
I think
Thoradin.
it's I think it's about time we finish off this big fat fuck. I think it's time.
What do you do?
Smite off his dragon hand.
You know what?
Go for
Make
it.
a cloak out of it for
Yeah, when I find Blackwind's skull, I'll make a nice fucking a nice little decoration thing I could put in
make
my
like a
fucking
totem.
my dwarf house, you know,
Make a
make a
necklace
totem.
of severed limbs.
of Blackwind bones and severed
Witch's
limbs.
teeth.
Put
Witch's
respect on
teeth.
my name.
some of the crowd around you, Thoradin, is saying, "Hey, don't leave him alone. Come on, don't
Leave him
don't kill-"
alone.
What?
You see his fucking hand. You want me to leave him alone?
But he protects us. Some of the other crowds like, kill him, kill the tyrant. It's just want to let you know.
Remember, lads, he put Ernst in the stocks.
No, he put Erwin in the store.
No, Erwin.
True.
Ernest goes to hell. All right.
Ernest. Oh no. Can't wait to spend all day at work looking up Ernest videos.
They gonna put me away. All right. Gotta help Lady Wachter. All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna chop off this guy's fucking hand. Let's do this.
Oh my god.
Why do we feel bad for this guy all of a sudden?
No, just
not
go.
his fault.
Don't
He's
listen
got
to
some
anybody.
sort of
Just
weird
go. Go,
birth
go, go,
defect.
go.
It's not like I'm attacking a disabled kid. Like this is
I
like,
mean,
He's a
Wait,
bad
Juniper,
dude.
you
Matt,
dropped
don't
75
you
damage
listen.
on him.
yeah, you rolled like D100s on this fucking guy, and then you want me to yield? You want me to?
D100.
Yeah. Amber's like, oh, I'm rolling damage. You know. Oh yeah, I'm rolling damage.
Hey, is the crone is the hag old lady gone, Dan?
You just saw her and the child kind of walk down the alley to the south and kind of are out of your line of sight now, seconds ago.
Okay.
All right, so I pull Talon out, and I put it right in Isaac's face, and I say, "This dwarf has given you one chance to give up, lad. Not because I want to, because it's my sworn duty to give you an option." So I give him a choice. Gives up. We tie him up. He gives us all the information we want. We let, and he goes in the stocks, or I kill him. And I ain't fucking rolling to convince him. If he don't want it, then yeah.
And I'm not rolling for his response. His eyes narrow. He looks at you and he goes, "Fuck you, little man."
Ooh! Oh, you big fat cunt! I'm gonna kill you then. All right, so I'm doing that. I'm doing that wicked combo I did before. So I'm gonna attack Talon. Just follow me here. 20 plus 7. And so be it, lad. I'll see you in hell.
You're
23.
holding it in front of him, and he says, "Fuck you, little man," and you have it 6 inches from his throat, and you drive it through his throat.
And I go, "Oh, fuck you, lad."
There you go. I'm glad we're doing real life sound effects now. Good.
So
Glad we
wrong
brought
with
this
you.
all the way around.
Oh my God.
Fuck you, lad. Watch your back.
Oh, watch your back.
You better roll your damage.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Before you
I'm
shit
sorry.
your
I'm sorry.
pants.
Otherwise, this guy's gonna call lightning with D20s down on your face in about 2 seconds.
All right, so that's the base damage. So it's 8, and then
I'll tell you, you have to hit 18.
okay. So then I'm gonna use a second level spell slot for my divine smite. So it's gonna be a 3d8.
That's 21.
Yeah, 21 so far, and then my hunter's mark.
Okay. You don't need it. So as you drive Talon through his throat, and the divine smite, like the glow of it, comes out of the hole that you pierced into his throat, and it's just bright light comes out. Second after he said "fuck you, little man," and then his eyes just roll back as this massive man. Actually, Thornton, Juniper, Spiral, you all feel the ground shake a little bit from him falling backwards.
Damn.
As Ezek crashes to the ground. And at the moment that he does, several more people that were just kind of standing around, kind of watching, do the same thing where they kind of like throw their cloaks or garments back or whatever and pull out daggers. And you now see them. Half of those people that had just pulled out daggers are now clamoring up towards the barracks. Some of the other ones, though, are just turning and looking around at the crowd. And you see a couple people just stab random commoners. Just kill them. Men, women, older people. And you just see them just stab them. And a couple people drop left and right. And everybody's just sort of looking around. And anyone after those few seconds of chaos looks around and says, they're gone. They're dead. Hail Lady Wachter. And they start raising these daggers up into the air. And you see some of the crowd is just some people are just leaving and just kind of like quietly kind of trying to get back home and get away. But a lot of people are just standing around like raising these daggers up in the air. Ernst, who's on top of the building, says, he says, people of Vallaki, today is a momentous occasion. My lady will present herself in the morning with her plan. Please know that you're all safe now. Return to your homes. Vallaki is in much better hands now that the oppressive Baron and his guardsmen and his henchmen are dead. Please go to your home. Tomorrow at noon, Lady Wachter will present her plan. You are all safe. Thank our heroes. And then people start raising up their daggers up in the air. As they're still raising their daggers in the air, though, you do see some people just trying to like get away. They're not raising daggers, and you see these people stabbing them in the back.
Oh my God.
Kicking them into the alley and stuff like that. So there's a good 10% of the crowd that's just trying to scramble away, as the rest, whoever's remaining, is standing around and celebrating.
Two things. Number one, I'd like to urinate on his ex-corpse.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one.
Right.
So Thornton pulls his pants down, and
none of the group is surprised. Not even a little. We don't even acknowledge it.
There's no reaction.
Nope.
Business as usual.
Business as usual.
So he just starts, peeing. All right, you're in the master of the dwarf. You get pissed on. And
as you're peeing on Ezek, you notice his demon bright crazy flame arm dissolves and disintegrates into nothing, and he just has a nub there.
Oh fuck! I was gonna ask if I could cut it off.
Oh man, if Alaric's anywhere near this, he's gonna come up to Thornton while he's pissing and put his arm around his shoulder, and he's gonna say, "What's in that piss, lad?"
So in the middle of my peeing song, I'm like, "Oh, nothing, lad. Just regular urine. Nothing special."
It's pretty
Must have had asparagus.
Must be all that wolf meat and all that fucking
too soon.
drinking.
It's all the teeth I ate.
All the teeth.
Ernst looks over at you, Deckard, who seems to be the closest person he makes eye contact with, and he gives you a little bit like a kind of salute kind of thing from the top of the building, and then he kind of rolls away.
Okay.
And then it just kind of looks like the crowd and the square are just kind of left to do whatever they want to do. After a few moments, anyone who doesn't seem to be a Lady Wachter supporter and who seems to be happy about what happened here is either dead or gone. So the square is just left with people who are starting to now celebrate.
Let's loot the Baron. We'll see if he has any rings or jewels that we can keep.
I'm gonna search Izek too.
Well, Deckard is actually like almost like the second everything started, like even while like people were getting stabbed, like as Thoradin was pulling down his pants to pee, he yells. You just hear him yell to you guys, "The crone, the old hag, the windmill, this way." And Deckard just starts taking off this way.
What the fuck?
Oh no.
Blackwind's returning.
And can I see, if I get around this corner, Dan, do I see her?
See her.
Hey y'all, it's me again.
Corpse of Blackwind shows up.
How far can you see?
I'm all sit on your floor.
Oh, Crocus is here. This is perfect. Trying to avenge his death.
You let these bitches kill me and then you walked away?
I
mean, we tried to resurrect you like
I'm
3
just
times.
trying to see if I'm within.
Yeah, you can. You can see
Okay.
them. They're about
So
they're about 300-400 feet away, but they're
Okay.
they're very distinct. And she's pushing a cart. So what you can
Okay.
see is well down the path to the south. You
Mhm.
you can see the silhouette of an older woman, a younger child, and a cart, kind of just scurrying away.
So I still have my longbow. It's on fire. I am going to, and it'll have to be with disadvantage because it's between 150 and I'm gonna shoot an arrow at her.
Okay. So yeah, and it's definitely a few hundred feet away. So you'll
Okay,
have to
if it's under
disadvantage.
600, I can do disadvantage.
Okay.
There's the first roll. Ugh. So that's 12.
That's a miss. So you miss.
Shoot. Can I just?
Take a second, right?
Oh yeah, and then I'm going to use my extra attack with disadvantage. So, 19.
But you have to roll again.
Well, oh yeah, my bad. So 19.
19. All right. So go ahead and roll damage. You're trying to hit the older woman.
So yeah, I'm trying to hit the old woman, and I'm doing two things here. I mean, I'm doing damage, of course, but I'm also going to brand her.
Oh, nice.
So, where is it? How does it work? Where is it? Where's my brand of castigation? I swear they don't have the.
Yeah, I'm looking too.
Unless they removed it or something. Is it just a blood hunter thing?
Can't you hear the planet crying? I hear it loud. I hear it loud and clear.
Brand of castigation, 6th level.
Yeah, there it is. I want to sear an arcane brand of Hemocraft magic into her that will make it so I always know the direction she is.
Where are you seeing this? Do you see it on your sheet?
Yeah, so it's not on my sheet. It's they don't have the Blood Hunter like player's handbook aligned with the player sheet right now. So if
Okay.
you go
Alright.
to
Yeah, I'm under classes. Castigation.
and it's just under it's a blood hunter. It's just class features. It's not my order.
At 6th level, whenever you damage, you can whenever you damage a creature with Crimson Right. Did you use Crimson Right?
Yeah, so that's why my bow's on fire. So
you used your bonus action.
I did that a couple turns ago. So I used that
until you drop the bow. Yeah, got
Right.
it. Okay, cool. Then you do each time a branding deals damage to you. You always know the direction the branding keep. Okay. Yep. Okay, cool. All right.
and so okay. So I'm gonna brand her, but I'll do the damage here. So 13 damage plus 2 fire damage.
Okay. So after this fight, Deckard goes running down towards one of the alleys and just lets this he pulls it back as far as you've seen him draw an arrow. And this arrow fires out with this streak of flame. And Deckard, you see it have that like telltale like tunk where it hits, right? It didn't miss. So you immediately get that sense of awareness of where your target is at now.
Okay.
You have no idea how much damage it did. The figures continue to kind of move down the street. But I think that's perfect. Kind of wrap up to this is that, you guys had this crazy battle at the square. Izek went charging after Irina. Nobody knows why. You guys had Vasily get Irina the hell out of there so you guys could fight. Took out the guards easily. Melted Izek with lightning and everything. He's a big dude, pretty tough to bring down. No one's really sure why Deckard had half of his attention focused on the other side of the battlefield, but at the very end, after Izek dropped, after the Baron dropped, after you saw all these people kind of like emerge from the crowd and just start killing other people, and dozens of people flood into the barracks, Deckard went running down the one hallway towards the meat pie lady and fired an arrow at her, and that's where I'll end the session. Is that arrow?
And I did yell to them, the windmill, the crone.
Right.
And
so whoever
that's all you
heard
got.
that and whatever you guys want to assume that means, I'm not going to add any more. We can't really add any more, but that's what you heard. And then you saw Deckard do that, and that's where we'll end.
Nice.
That was great.
Wow, that was incredible.
Love it. That was a 100% combat session, wasn't it?
That was
Oh,
great.
Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
rolled initiative at the beginning and ended with
I love
That
it.
was a top 5
we don't,
session.
We don't do that much. That was cool.
You guys did really well. You're
Thanks.
tough.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Dad.
You guys are tough. Yeah,
And we
I mean,
don't even need to roll d20s by accident. We got this shit.
Hey, it's not my fault. I wasn't the only one that didn't realize that, like, I shouldn't have gotten more than 50 rolling 5
Actually,
times.
I don't think anybody realized it.
Well, dude,
At
that's
least
why
a
when
few
she
seconds.
rolled 75, I was like, I need to know what spell. I need to play that character.
Oh yeah,
I
Will
looked
lift
and
out
I
the
s-
fucking play
I saw-
You know
handbook
what?
and everything.
Is it safe to say if Will wasn't part of this campaign, that just would have gone through?
Probably.
Oh yeah,
We all would have been
I
like,
would've
yeah,
just
that's amazing.
Probably.
yeah, I don't think
Avenge me.
he was dead, but he was really damn close. If I would have let that go through, yeah, it went from 75 damage to like
19.
19?
Yeah,
I mean, that's like
substantial.
mega boss damage. 75.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
All right, so
Right,
now
good
Amber can
job,
go to
Silver.
reroll.
So Festival of the Blazing Sun has ended. The Baron is dead. Ernst, Lady Wachter's agent, is all excited. Yeah, you guys did really well. A good session.
So you weren't expecting the dead Baron, huh?
Nope.
I was gonna kill him.
This is all the planning that Dan had for the Baron the next, like, fucking 20 sessions. All of it, just gone. Everything, just gone. Just gone.
Well, at least
That is a true story, but I have to tell you, that's like only the 20th time that's happened since I started this campaign.
That one shot, Will, is literally all of that planning, probably.
Wait,
with the
who's
Baron.
more important?
I'll tell you,
Baron
Nathaniel
or
Swift
Pro?
had a lot of shit to do before he got shot in the forehead by a
Yeah, well,
fucking warlock.
Hey, at least mine wasn't random.
That's true. That's true. It was calculated.
I'm gonna end the stream there.
thank all of our callers. We couldn't do it without you guys. We
Thanks,
appreciate it.
viewers. All right.